What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another, wow, not episode of anything. It's actually an episode of the Qualifiers. Get a little like used to my own intros there on the other side of things. Welcome to the Masters Qualifiers, guys. My name is Rainey. This is High Res Pretty Hair, and let's get into the schedule for today. You know you're here to watch some Paladins esports action, and it's here on North America, this side of the turf. We're in Atlanta. Panda, 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 Panda. Oh boy. We have a new squad that has entered the Paladins esports realm. Formerly Team Xenasi now is a part of Panda Global, so you'll see the same players just under a different name. First match, though, will be Astral Authority versus Eager Nick, and then we'll follow up with that Panda matchup versus AGG.
It looks like the Panda logo is scaring the AGG logo away. But he's trying to maintain his like edgy persona.
He's trying to make the sound, man, the classic, the Panda sound. So in terms of what we got going on today as well, in Paladins, the realm, as we like to call it, there are some giveaways you could be a part of in terms of stuff that we're giving away in-game when you get your first win of the day. Chests going to be rolled for you. If you want some emotes, some sprays, all those kind of good things for you, you'll be able to get first wins of the day's Radiant chests. What, Nick?
Nothing, bro.
Chest hype.
Chest hype.
It's pretty exciting for us here. We're ready for the maps for the first game as well. We're excited. We're having fun. Hopefully you're having fun watching. Let's take a look at the first game here. It'll be Astral Authority versus Team Eager.
Yep.
And that means they'll be playing Jaguar Falls. First map, Nick. Couple of bans.
The number 1 and the number 2 seed Frozen Guard banned out. That was pretty popular yesterday. Ice Mines actually I don't think saw a whole lot of bans yesterday, but Eager wanting to stay away from that one. Astral Authority wants to stay away from the Frozen Guard. Jaguar Falls. That's where we will head. The champion draft ready to go. Let's hop in there.
Let's hop into the
Let's see what the pick is going to be after Ying.
Exactly, right? It's like, what's going to be the second and third pick here? Eager, go with the Makoa. So surprising everyone just out of the blue. What's this saying to you when the Makoa first pick for Eager?
They have something in mind, right? They don't, necessarily place a tremendous amount of value on Ying to the fact that they're going to forego the first pick. More so to the point, I think that Makoa is going to be more important for whatever strategy that they have in mind. It could be Makoa Grover. We saw Astral Authority actually run that pretty effectively, Makoa being very effective part of their strategy. Well,
now you look at Astral Authority not even taking a healer here. So Ying not on the first 3 picks at all for both Eager and Astral Authority. And we have to bring this up. We have to reiterate this every single weekend. What you saw in Europe, you will not see in North America. They play very differently. They have different metas. They're totally different histories between one another. And especially these two teams, Stolzy being on the side of Eager, Astral Authority having some former teammates. They all used to play together and now really trying to vie for the number 1 seed.
And Eager pick up a Drogos.
Wow.
I'll be damned.
I saw
Ying 6th picks, Eager picks Drogos 2nd. Crazy.
And
Eager traditionally doesn't take Drogos. They've stayed away from it, but it's just too good to pass up, especially against the Torvald Salvo. Absolutely slaughters Torvald. Even with Record 1 online, it already is getting you good value for that. Fire Spit also just so effective at breaking a deployable clump that Bear can create.
Victor running out and squadding up with Astral Authority right now. Looking pretty tanky, got some decent damage on that side. Last pick will be theirs as the Grok and Maldamba follow suit for Team Eager. So 2 healers, Grok kind of playing that pseudo-healer damage role, and then Pip, talk about pseudo-healers. He knows when he's mentioned, and he jumps into the lineup for Astral Authority here. And gosh, on Jaguar Falls, there's so many different champions here who can excel.
Yeah, into a solo frontliner, the Pip coming out a little bit strange for me. Normally Pip's picked up as kind of, when Drogos is already taken, a nice response. The Evil Mojo is obviously a good answer to take out multiple frontliners, but we'll have to see how it plays out. Stolzy will be playing the Drogos for Team Eager, has yet to pick his legendary. Wi-Fi will be taking Makoa. Pluck is his legendary choice. Combustible for the time being for Stolzy. Shady Shade's gone with the Recurve for Shaolin, Maelstrom Grok for Bitey. And, of course, Spirit's chosen for a Rise Maldamba.
More Doom on the side of Astral Authority. Going to run Field Study, 40% more damage on the shield. Lifelike going to be run by Ying. Catalyst for Doseps at the moment. Avuli running the Fortify legendary. And then Gunnery, the Aim Down Sights legendary for Eye Drop Bodies on Victor. Jaguar falls close. Titan map Unicorn mounts coming in from that Valentine's chest, now being sported by the boys. And first off, gets impaled. Grenade goes back, but no damage yet. And the first blood still elusive for both teams. Some damage onto the shield that comes up. And Wardoom admittedly taking a very aggressive approach onto the point. Now this combustible is just doing work. And you can see the vision of everyone there. Hits another 3. Stolzy is just doing work with this Drogo's Wardoom now at 300 health. No shield, no cooldowns. Yet he decides to run back onto the point because that's where Ying is. And that is the benefit of having that kind of healer.
He stays alive, just barely though. Stolzy shredding this composition, this clump up. This is why Drogos is so highly valued in this type of meta. You can see him just ripping damage. Actually missed the fire spike because he didn't have any more rockets, but already with the Dragon Punch charged up. Most members are sitting around 50 to 60% on their ultimate. Drogos way ahead of the pack.
Well, you know, it just seemed like Sha Lin helped set the pace of that fight. You know, free firing Victor changes the way Wardoom's able to stand on the point exposed. That damage would be devastating to him. But because Sha Lin able to get a great shot early on, forced the Victor out of the fight, gave them the extra poke potential they needed to just combat with him for a while, it ended up being completely in their favor. Here's an early ult as well coming in from Doseps, takes down Shady Shades. I drop bodies, now finds Wi-Fi, and so this continues to go forward in the way of Astral Authority. Eager on the back foot.
They have to be careful. This is exactly how they lost last week. Astral Authority just got so much momentum over Eager. We're able to keep them staggered, able to keep the payload rolling the whole time, winning in less than 9, less than 8 minutes. Just blazing pace set by Astral Authority, and they look to keep this up. This style of heavy momentum play is working out well for them as they find the conversion in the first round.
Huge. Eager have nothing to say about this, and considering the fact that you've got the Barrack and you've got the Torvald, it's just too hard for them to break through everything and kind of keep their eyes on the prize. Who do you go for? When do you go for them?
This is kind of to be expected. Obviously, you don't want to give up the conversion if you can help it, but Astral Authority's composition is a little bit more death volley, a little bit more point-centric, just more HP, just more mitigation to be able to bully their way and stick around on the point. So they're supposed to take this early. Hopefully, Eager with Wreckers and Cauterize can come back, but the whole strategy here for Astral Authority is momentum. They're going to win the game before Eager have enough credits to get Cauterize 2 online, to get Wrecker 2 online. You can see that already reflected in the items. Wrecker 1's online for Stolzy and Shady Shades. They can't afford anything else.
My God, they can't even pick up Resilience 2, and it's one of the cheapest items in the game. Only going to be 400 credits for that, but still missing a pretty penny due to the fact that they did not get the extra 300 from winning the capture objective. Wardoom with an easy kill there on the Wi-Fi, and right now picking the first Makoa first over Ying seems to be a regrettable decision for all of Eager. They have not had the type of success they want, especially that front line, which Wi-Fi's admittedly done pretty well on in the past, has just had no relevance in this game.
Stolzy taking a lot of damage anytime he pokes his head out to try and get something done on the point. 66 already on the point. There comes the Hyper Beam. Shady Shades was blown off the map. 3 for 1 as Stolzy does manage to pick up a Vuli.
Vuli gets taken down, but here we go. Wardoom and I drop bodies here. That field study gonna help him get all the damage he needs, but he doesn't even need it right there. He gets it at the very end. But Rai was basically dead and dusted. The Maldamba goes down, and Cuss Cutie on the Ying still alive. Bitey finally taking down iDrop Bodies after a great stun from Shady Shades, who had been thrown off the map earlier. But things are looking good for the boys of AA. 2 minutes, 14 seconds on the clock. Some ultimates ready. We could see another pimp ult here, Nick, if he decides to use it.
Absolutely, and that's what kind of spurred the momentum on for Astral Authority as they rounded the corner here. Wi-Fi into the shell shield, just forced to back up. Doseps positioning for it, but it gets shut down.
Gets stunned? That's what it was. The stun comes out, maybe. It might have been a weird interaction where he was not finished aiming. He was maybe doing a flick shot and gets stunned out of actually hitting anyone with that ultimate. So very, very unlucky for Cuss Cutie. Very good stuff by the boys of Eager to force that stun onto him, possibly in a Rai stun. They actually, I think, did that with the Maldamba, so very, very effective stuff. Of course, they've got the Impaler Arrow from Sha Lin as well, but it has not stopped Doseps' 13 streak here on the pip, who's just continuously barraging them with damage.
Metal to the metal here for Astral Authority. They dropped 1 kill, but haven't shown any signs of slowing down. The Dragon Punch trying to get something done. We'll find Wardoom with a Dome Shield to try and close this game out.
Wow.
They're going to find it, man. Momentum is the name of the game. Eager has got to switch up their draft to stop this momentum from Astral Authority. This is a team that plays too well when they're ahead.
Well, the other thing is that, are they regretting not picking Ying first pick? Not even picking Ying second
I
or
don't even.
third.
If you look at the draft, right, Torvald and Barrick were the 1 and 2 selections in the second phase of the draft for Astro Authority. So right now, Astro's prioritizing what tanks they want. These are the ones they feel are important to keeping their momentum up. They happened to get Ying first, or they didn't even take the Ying first pick. They took it third. So everything is a little bit up in the air right now, but just Astro Authority prioritizing their tanks, their frontliners, their control over the team fight.
And it's not, again, really even the issue that they weren't able to compete in the healing factor, right? I mean, you just see that 43,000 damage healing still by Arai, so feels confident on the Madamba or the Ying, but things did not go well for Wi-Fi up front. And on paper, this looks a lot better for Eager. You would not have expected a 4-0 like that, at least that quickly.
Having the Pip on such a good streak as well, the momentum was always on their side off the back of those Evil Mojos. Game 2 will be on Serpent Beach. We'll see if they can switch up anything in the draft. Try and get this back online, but the Victor free firing, Victor beating a Drogos against a Death Ball comp when the Drogos is hitting those 4-man fire spits is pretty nuts to think about. So no real pressure put on iDrop bodies in the last game, and then a free firing Victor is always going to end in a bad time.
You know, the other thing that's interesting was we head into the draft here. We still don't see Ying picked up. Dosips doesn't always play. I don't even know if I remember the time that I've seen Dosips play Pip.
He's been playing it on stream a lot, actually. That was kind of like how I figured out
the address of the change.
Yeah, the healing potion thing. He kind of pointed it out to me because he's been playing it.
Yeah.
Been liking it.
And he hasn't brought necessarily that out in this competitive scene on the big stage, but he's trimmed Eager. They know each other. They probably expected a little bit of this Dosips Pip. Cutie taking obviously the healer role there, but still shot calling. He mentioned earlier on in the week, I love shot calling. I like being behind the scenes and directing my teammates. I don't need to be the damage dealer, and didn't die once as Ying, and Astral Authority will have that resource again for Cus to be on in this game.
Still have the Ruckus available to them. Don't need to take it right now, though. I like the switch up in the draft here, taking the Drogos instead, because it is going to be so good against double frontliner, especially a Barrick, who is likely to be just kind of planted on the point, trying to survive as best he can, as well as Team Eager have already taken 2 frontliners, so they don't need to take the Ruckus just yet if they want to go into that.
They could flex the healing here. Maldamba a little early, I would think, considering the fact that we saw Wolves fall into this trap against Burrito the other day, Nick. You know, you pretty much know you're going to take the Maldamba, but again, here's the trap that Burrito would do. They take this early so that, considering Astral Authority know they need Maldamba, now they can kind of do a counter pick here against what Astral Authority pick up.
They save their final pick here. Buck, the selection.
This is bad.
That's always a good takeaway from Shady Shades. I mean, Perdot was a monster with this pick on Serpent Beach yesterday. So that's the Grover. Hopefully landing some of those crippling throws to try and slow down this Buck. I like the pickup, actually. He's got to land sooner or later.
Yeah.
Just save that crippling throw for that. Get it. Also, we got the Makoa hook as well.
Yeah.
A lot of potential lockdown for this Buck. I don't expect it to run quite as rampant as Perdot was able to do yesterday.
Well, we'll see. They've got 2 healers on the side of Eager. They've got 1 on the side of Astral Authority, but they've got 2 tanks and 1 mean dragon as well. Field study going to be run by War Doom right now. Bounce House Buck on Cuss Cutie. Just as I mentioned him healing, he's going to go and have himself some fun. Combustible for Ivuli, one of the better Drogos as we've seen in North America. Lifelike for Ying, played by Dosips this time. An aerial assault for Ruckus. Some extra mobility for iDrop bodies.
4-5 will be the selection for Stolzy's Barrick Pluck for Wi-Fi's Makoa. Firefight. So the hip fire actually looking to box out a little bit better, probably with the Buck. Deep Roots, obviously the crippling throw for Shady Shades, Lockdown, and Spirits Chosen. The Throughput legendary for Arise, Maldamba. 2 Wreckers, 2 Cauterizes is the selections for Eager. 1 Chronos for Arai, 3 Cauterize, 1 Wrecker. Vuli thinks he can get it done all on his own.
War Doom with this Master Riding. You didn't like Master Riding for a while, Nick. One of the reasons why is your logic was, once I get off my mount, it's done. I don't use it for the rest of the fight. War Doom just gets it into the fight a little bit faster, but I'd be curious how he uses that moving forward in the secondary rounds if he decides to keep flanking, as is typical of him. And that aggressiveness, that flank coming out from all the members of Astral Authority has proved to be just as valuable as any type of card selection could be, giving them 60% on the capture objective and Eager a full wipe yet again.
Another momentous victory in that team fight for Astral Authority. This team has been meshing really, really well. They have really come together, especially in the last couple weeks of open qualifiers. Because Backs off though. Goes back
So
in.
safe.
Looking for Barrack right now. Just needs to know when he needs to play this a little bit careful because obviously the Makoa and the Deep Roots Grover, there is a lot of potential lockdown for this Buck to be punished, but we have yet to see that come through.
And this is just major snowball. You know, Shady Shade's as good as dead here. Bitey's not going to have a good time. Actually goes for the BM there. Cuss Cutie just having a little bit of fun with Bitey in the corner, knowing that he's the one in charge right now. The payload still pushing, and actually a pause by Bitey. Maybe that triggered some emotions, triggered some feelings there. And they're all in base. No combat happening right now, so we will see if, you know, this actually is as big a deal as Cuss Cutie is making it. They went 4-0. This is supposed to be one of the better teams. Stolzy left this team, this squad, this core, and went to Eager to try and be a better unit. And Astral Authority last weekend, and now, right now in the Masters qualifiers, are proving that they are way more ready to handle this situation than Eager.
There's a lot of, you know, things that go into decisions like that. I mean, you look at Spunky, he was kind of stuck in support, right? And, you know, Burrito, they got rid of him, and now look at him on, he's doing so well in the Interloper squad, playing a wide variety of roles, stuff we never saw him play on Burrito, so just a matter of finding that synergy, finding where you fit in best. Avuli is going to go down to Wi-Fi. Eager 5 strong on the high ground, but the payload isn't being attended to right now as it rounds the final corner here, looking for the conversion.
Great job by Ying as well. Want to just point out Doseps shepherding that payload car. We used to see Grok do that better than anybody back in the days. Now Grok, he's fragging out, and Ying, she's escorting the payload. There's Cuss Cutie, pops into the Buck Wild, gets hit by 3, smashes down onto 3. Heroic leap, trying to do the deed, goes through the shields. Now he's getting the pressure. Will he find the kill? He'll get the leap damage. The Hyper Beam might secure it. Wi-Fi goes down. Stolzy off the map. Cuss Cutie on an 8 streak, and Astral Authority in charge, 2-0.
Couple of kills though found at the end for Eager. They gotta find some way to stabilize here. It just seems like, I don't know if it's their draft, I don't know if they're disagreeing with each other. We don't really know why they took that pause. Was it to kind of regroup themselves? Was it a technical difficulty pause? A lot of things going wrong for Eager and a lot of things going right for Astro Authority. All the momentum on their side. They have not slowed down once. Cuss Cutie sitting on 800 credits, dumps off 600 of those into Cauterize 2. Doseps and Bodies already on the mark for Cauterize 2. Avuli with the Wrecker 2 online, Wardoom with Master Riding 2. Just all the pieces are in place to keep this snowball rolling.
If we could see Wardoom here as he goes into battle, I want to really see how much use he's getting out of this Master Riding. Is it just getting to the point? Does he want to flank? He just wants to get on this objective. Actually, first, it's the option, Nick. It's the ability to see something happen and react to it. Wardoom just really prioritizing keeping his teammates alive, and I'm surprised at how little poke he has taken standing directly on the point. Full line of sights of everyone on the side of Eager. They're just dealing with so much, and that's Cuss Cutie's Buck, but they do get a kill. Bitey returns the favor, and actually without the BM and just with the straight damage, gets Buck off the battlefield for the first time in forever, it seems like.
Wardoom in a bad spot. It's going to go down to the hip-firing Victor. Big heals coming through, going to top Bitey back up. Just keeping that hip fire going, wants to get the accuracy in there from time to time. Spots out the Buck. Teats grenades, so that's a lot of extra bonus damage. There's a Dragon Punch from an Evil Eye, though, taking down Wi-Fi. High drop Body's getting the pressure of Bitey, who's on a 5 streak now. 78% and counting for Eager, but Astral Authority have started to retake their position. Now, with the Dread Serpent coming out, Wardoom feared away, and Bitey's able to just spam those bullets onto him. Cuss Cutie rooted with Grover, and that's why they took the last pick. That's why they did the counter for Buck. And look at this, Eager, all of a sudden, after a pause and a couple of grenades from Bitey, and a couple of roots from Grover, have found their answer to Astral Authority. Beautiful adjustment, I feel, and just the team fight philosophy out of Eager here. Bitey on this Victor is going to be a majority of their damage. So rather than giving Cuss Cutie on the Buck the angle to come in and try and pick off Bitey, Bitey's just sticking with his healers. He's just sticking on the point. He's using that hipfire legendary and just going toe-to-toe.
Actually, a very huge barrage. Hits 2, and now Cuss Cutie in a bit of trouble. It's a good room for him, actually. Cuss Cutie going to jump right in, get the kill. But Avuli gets credit for that one. Over in the top ledges, no one is paying attention to the Dragon, and now these long-range rockets are bound to hit somebody. He's just free-firing into the back line. A combustible there, mid-air. Oh, he gets it. Isn't enough to kill. No, will the second one be not enough yet? Healing still keeping them alive, because they do have a Grover over there and a Maldamba Gord as well to stand on. But Stolzy finally falls, and a minute and 30 seconds left. That should be, oh, didn't hit him at the back, but Avuli still applying so much pressure for Astral Authority.
A lot of long-range poke coming out, making it very easy for Cuss Cutie on this Buck to just find these confirmable kills. You can see him all the way in the back line there. Wardoom going for a cheeky Hyper Beam, does find the Grover. Shady Shade's taken off the map. 1:10 remaining in the round, so still plenty of time to get that charge back up as well.
That wasn't necessarily huge value, though. I mean, the thing is, Wardoom does that, and I think there's almost a mentality to doing that. Wardoom and the boys of Astral Authority here, always been very confident in themselves. You saw a little bit of the BM earlier from Cuss Cutie. I wonder if that's just another mind game. Hey, we know you're not aggressing. We know this isn't a very important decision. I know that in a minute I could probably use that ultimate a little bit more than now, and I'm still going to use it just to make you salty and try and see if I can tilt your gameplay experience. That's what Wardoom is an expert at.
Just trying to buy time right now. You see Evil Eye finds a nice pick on a Stolzy around the corner, but even look at Cuss Cutie's buck. He drawed fire from the front line. For a couple of seconds, he pulled the Grover, he pulled the Makoa's attention away. Finds Stolzy in the front line. Evil Eye, good job keeping up all this pressure. One more fire spit around the corner, over the top, off the side. Shady Shade just trying to get off the map and just prevent himself from getting staggered from the rest of his team. 15 seconds remain here. 40% on Wardoom's Hyper Beam, so might not be able to get that charge all the way back up.
And that's where you get frustrated, because you see that after all is said and done, he didn't need it. It wasn't maybe a salty ult, maybe it was tactical, but it just looks like they don't even need that ultimate, and that's the frustration there. They're using their resources almost willy-nilly and coming out ahead of these fights almost effortlessly here. And it seems just like Eager has everything going against them. Shady Shades has his ult available, Maldamba as well, Nick. Bitey and Wi-Fi going in there with full ult charges. This could be the round. This has to be the round for them to change things up.
They did close the gap on the credits, though. Team Eager starting to get some of those later game items. The Wrecker 2's online for Wi-Fi. Shady Shade. Bitey actually getting his Cauterized 3 there. Wardoom will be seeing some competition on the point as Stolzy has hit the Master Riding 2 mark as well. So he'll be meeting Wardoom just about at the same point. It's important for Barrick to be able to get set up there before he feels too much pressure. So we're going to ride along with Wardoom here and see who wins the race to the point.
Going straight to the point yet again. It's worked every single time thus far. Didn't win the point capture, but now look, he's on the mount, and it just gives him the ability to rotate if he needs to. And this is what I was expecting from Eager, to just go into it. Here's the Dragon Punch, though. If Uli wants to get some damage, he's getting focused. Oh, and he finally finds Stolzy, 200 health. He's going to stay alive and get to the Ying clones to get the healing. Salvo pops out. No damage from that, but a huge fire spit. He hits it. Gonna hit one more. Oh, Ivuli getting the damage, but Whirlwind by Grover mitigates almost all of it, and now the combustible can start to hurt. What a great slither by Arai to stay alive.
And he's already back to 73% on that Dragon Punch. Won't be coming through. Stolzy's gonna eat another one. It looks like Hyper Beam does come out, but Dome Shield on the point. 60% for Astral Authority, 46 and now 50 and climbing for Eager.
And this is a problem. They've got the Dread Serpent, and they're gonna use it right here. They don't want to deal with Cuss Cutie at all, but what they don't know is Ivuli is there with the Dragon Punch. The Ying is still alive, and Ivuli trying to hunt down Stolzy yet again. He's gonna find him. The Ancient Rage forced out by Wi-Fi, but this could be the end of a 10,000 HP turtle. In fact, it is. Great ultimate saving. This could be the game here with Astral Authority. 99%, 100%, 2-0. The best of 3 set over Eager. And what seems like, wow.
That was quick.
Couple of minutes.
A beautiful team fight there at the end from Astral Authority, but just Ivuli. Oh my God, just the Dragon Punch comes out, huge fire spits, gets him back almost instantaneously to 75% charge, and then we switch over to his camera, see him pick up 2 kills and Dragon Punch and Ancient Raging Makoa. I mean, that is a value team fight. You can see it there on the scoreboard as well. 115,000 damage, 20 and 4. Ivuli having a beautiful game on the Dragon.
My problem with this lineup a little bit on the side of Eager, and I think that things didn't go well. I think they got to go back to the drawing board here. I think Astral Authorities had their number, and I think they know that. We don't have to tell them that. I'm always a fan of using your assets. We talked about yesterday. You build a draft, you build a lineup, go ahead and use that lineup the way it's intended to do. You put a player on your team like Stolzy, I don't think you can really put him on Barrick. I really don't think you can do that. When you have someone who's got that type of mechanical skill, who's got that clutch finishing potential, you have to put him on a character that allows him to do that, even if your draft has to shift a little bit. I see the intention for what they were going for, but in the future, I'd like to see really Eager, if they're going to bring Stolzy over, you got to let Stolzy do his thing. You got to let him run wild.
I mean, maybe it might just be a product of the meta, unfortunately. If Stolzy's, characters aren't in the meta right now.
There are players that surpass the meta, man. There's got to be in every sport.
Androxus games.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Mudastina absolutely just showed it. Androxus could be fantastic.
So that's going to do it for Astro Authority and Eager. Match number 2 will be AGG versus Panda Globa. That should be a pretty close matchup. Those teams have always kind of been back and forth.
It's going to be an exciting one. These games just got rid of so much, I think, maybe jitters for people starting out. It's the first weekend, so you know, obviously, Interlopers, they didn't have a great, successful time yesterday, even though they're a great team. Now Eager not having the best of time starting out, although they're a great team. I think everyone is now trying to get their grips on what this new competition will be like. We do, though, have the first wins of the day available for you if you're just catching up with us on the stream. If you go into Paladins right now, you win your first game, and you win another game, you win another game, you're going to get 3 chests, and you can get 3 of those each day for the next couple of days, or maybe the next day here, considering it's the end of the weekend in just a second. We'll be heading to a break, and we'll be right back with more Masters Qualifiers action here. My name has been Rain Day. That's High Res Pretty Hair, and we'll see you back in just a second. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Masters Qualifiers here for Paladins. My name is Rene. That's High Res Pretty Hair, my co-caster, and we're going to get into the action right back to it, so there's not too much to delay. Of course, it is going to be AGG versus Panda Global, and that was formerly Team Xenacy back in the day. They're going to be facing off here first time in the Masters Qualifiers, trying to make a name for themselves.
That's right. They had a great start to the Open Qualifiers. They actually took first place coming in. I think they were like the 16th seed or something crazy like that. So definitely a team with some potential. They've got Smidgen, one of the old Match Point members on their team, looking to make a name for himself. And AGG's got some up-and-coming names as well. Bubble Boy, one of our own. Our streamers there on Paladins game. Prince Danny, a guy that's been around for a while. Going to make names for themselves here in the Masters Qualifiers.
Big community members, and let's see how they face off in this match. We should be ready for the map screen to come up and talk about where they'll be playing their first game, see what they've banned out. So it does look pretty similar to before. Jaguar Falls banned out. Frog Isle banned out by AGG. Jaguar Falls probably the only one I'm a little surprised about, but Stone Keep, very standard first map for a lot of these teams. Loving the brand new map that's been introduced into Paladins.
Yeah, absolutely. We're ready to get into the champion draft to see what these teams will take. I like the variants that we can see here. It's closed in, but it's kind of not. I think I would most compare it to like a Serpent Beach, because you saw like Warden, right? He waddled out on the point and he's kind of exposed, but most of the fighting is happening around that, and either Cathedral trying to take control of those high ground zones.
Well, that is the most important thing, because Serpent Beach has a couple of high grounds, but this has some very high ground. That third tier on the temple where you're fighting can be very difficult for frontliners to interact with unless you take up Makoa, and that's why I'm very I'm glad to see Panda Global prioritize that earlier on. I think on this map specifically, Makoa being able to dredge anchor up to that third layer and make sure anybody who pokes out is in danger is a very good pickup.
Torvald, the next selection. This is kind of just what NA's been leaning towards. They're prioritizing their tanks first things first, and Ying is kind of noodling her way in there after the fact.
NA did it first this time. They actually took Torvald, and then Torvald became a lot bigger. I mean, I remember one of the early adopters. We saw Match Point back in the day, War Doom. Obviously, we have Bidey, who became one of the early adopters of Torvald. So Ying, Drogos followed up for Panda Global here. Already looking like a very strong pick. We know Bubble Boy for AGG has really wanted to and excelled on the Ying, so he's not going to be able to play with that this game.
He does have Maldama, though. I mean, he's fine. You know, kind of all support players at this level are okay with both Ying and Maldama. Some of them go even deeper into the Grovers and some Pips, you know, from time to time. Shaolin, a character we didn't see much of in the previous set, but still one I think is strong in terms of breaking this death ball planted. Scales so well with Wrecker. His auto attacks just scale so well with Wrecker, especially with that recurve legendary, giving him 15% more attack speed.
Ruckus picked up for Panda Global here. Pip taken as well. And so we mentioned the two healers here, so that's not going to be an option for AGG. They go with a little bit of the point pressure, the point stabilization, and now take away one of the greater counters, but one of the better counters here. Bomb King coming out. The only difficulty in this champion's counter is using it as effectively as possible, which takes a very good player. And
Rovnik just happens to be that.
He just happens to be one.
So he kind of fills that role that Drogos, Shaolin, just busting up the point pressure. Grumpy Bomb, great tool for zoning. King Bomb as well. If you clump up, you're going to be very heavily punished by that. Go ahead and introduce the teams. You want to know, and we'll be taking Pluck on his Makoa. Smidgen will have Lifelike for his Ying. Toonie running Explosive Flask. Catalyst for his Pip. Use a lot of the direct impact talent for Kakanux Drogos. Finally, Aerial Assault for Tiny Fetus's Ruckus.
And for AGG, Recurve for Shaolin. Standard legendary there. Accelerant, giving Poppy Bomb. Rovnik a little bit more movement ability. Fortify for Barrack as of now for Jake B. El Zulu running Field Study. Extra protection damage. And Spirit's Chosen for Maldamba on Bubble Boy. Growing with the Chronos to start out. And Master Riding for Z1 wants to get to that point quickly.
2 Wreckers, 2 Cots. Selection for Panda Global, as well as 2 Cauterizes, I believe 1 Wrecker for AGG. Both teams moving out right now. Wrecker's trying to chew through this shield into Planet, but canceled immediately. There's the Grumpy Bomb. There's the zone potential that ability excels at.
I love what Tiny Fetus did there. Gets his miniguns rolling. There's a moment before the DPS really starts to kick in, and he decides to activate that and then advance his way, keeping the momentum of the machine gun so that when he gets onto the point, he's ready to fight. There is the Bomb King. Grumpy Bomb just going to aerial assault away. That's the benefit of having that third dash. You could use it to escape the Grumpy Bomb. bomb and get right back to where you were. Smidgen picks up the first kill on the Jake B on the Ying, and now going forward, keeping his teammates healed with the Genie Mirror, is going to try to apply some pressure here, but Team AG Panda Global finding an answer back here.
Toonie now has a great angle. He's on the 3rd floor of this cathedral, just raining down damage. Does drop down to support his team with heals and the like, but so much burst damage actually comes off the back of Pip. Big salvo there is a follow-up fire spit. Doesn't even need it. Toonie has already confirmed the double kill. 66% and climbing. Was very close, but Panda Global starting to pull away with this first point.
Yeah, they're pulling away big time. Very, very strong plays we've seen from Rovnik, but because of the aerial assault, I think Ruck is not really being threatened by that Grumpy Bomb, which is pressure they were counting on. It was extremely, extremely safe in that fight. Didn't really have anybody to focus him down. Tiny Fetus finds himself on a 5 streak here, and they continue to pressure up. Pip just throws a healing potion down to his buddy there, and now starts to focus down onto Rovnik, who had a shield, so that first shot did a lot, but now bouncing back up, he knows there's danger, but look, the impale comes out. He's gonna maybe fall here. The healing potion saves him, and he's just gonna retreat for now.
To get back around the corner, and this is what Pip kind of does so well. Doesn't have to play super team focus. He can box out with some of these backline damages, considering he's got a high base health, 2350 there, as well as the ability to heal himself, giving himself a lot of effective HP in a pool. Can drop his damage in, supporting his team from a very far distance. Evil Mojo, very effective at swinging team fights as well.
Very curious to see the loadout on Toonie as now as well, to see if he's running Refreshing Jog. It doesn't look like he is. Just going with Gift Giver, Smithereens, pretty standard stuff for him. Wants the healing potion to increase, so he has an extra chance to be able to hit his teammates with it. And the fix that we're talking about, Nick, making it a little bit smaller, hasn't happened yet. So he's still got to do a little bit more work than he's going to have to next time to perfectly hit his teammates.
Not when he's just healing himself, though. Just keeps popping that healing potion down at his feet. Here comes the King Bomb, looking to punish that clumping. Getting back onto the high ground. We'll probably find 2 here, just settling for 1 higher damage the closer you are to the center of that explosion. Kakanuk able to drive 2 kills of his own home.
Oh, and the Hyper Beam from Torvald keeps tuning. He falls down to the bottom ledge, and now Rovnik gets picked off again. The Evil Mojo is here, but does he have the damage to follow up? Kakanuk still alive. They may want to prime a salvo and get ready to fry some chickens. Toonie goes down. There's the Evil Mojo. Chicken down. 1 chicken still alive. Will he fall? No. Bubble Boy slithers away, but it's almost inevitable he'll fall. Rovnik, the last man standing, and the King will go down thanks to the pressure from Panda Global.
2-0 up now. They got the momentum on their side, as well as some key ultimates. Dragon Punch ready to go, as well as Ancient Rage. 2 very, very important ultimates for swinging the team fight in your favor. Dragon Punch basically counted as a guaranteed pickup. You can see these shrieks are getting pretty big as well. So if Toonie and Tiny Fetus do get shut down, they will provide bonus ultimate charge to whoever on AGG is able to shut them down. So something to be aware of. Something to keep in mind as they go into this next fight. Some resiliences, though, are being picked up just for the tanks, though, on AGG. That's going to get them out of that Evil Mojo just a little bit quicker.
Tiny Fetus and Toonie, they are brothers in arms. They queue together all the time. They made a name for themselves, working with Kakanuk here to try and create this Team ZNC that's been picked up by Panda Global, and both of them on 16 and 14 streaks. A deadly duo. And with Pip and Ruckus, that's a lot of damage coming out. A little bit of self-sustain too. Toonie, they end the streak right away. Prince Danny TV finally has an answer. He wants to get himself on the score sheet, and he's done well. Tiny Fetus, could he fall? He's got the DPS running through, but doesn't spot Rovnik in behind him. Kakanuk finishes off the King in stride, but Prince Danny TV has just been too strong this point fight, and finally AGG have the control that they've been looking for.
So 15% in the way of chip damage for Panda Global, but AGG in total control as they move north of 50, but still hanging on to that Dragon Punch. Ancient Rage was burned. Notable ultimate down for Panda Global. Here's the priming of the Dragon Punch. He's looking for someone, looking for anyone here. Gonna find the barrack on the point, just thrust back to safety. Free pickup for AGG.
93% on the objective, but it's time for Panda Global to make a try back if they can. Kakanuk in the back line tries to find 1 rocket, uses a salvo instead. He says, I'll get the job done with 6. Fire Spit looking to jump up in the air goes Rovnik. Down comes the King, the bomb. Can it do it? He needs to get the healing out of the fight, and he does. Smidgen goes down to the Bomb King, and now Panda Global are on the back foot here with Rovnik just swinging wildly. Who will come out alive? Toonie with a great healing potion to keep himself relevant in the fight and stay alive. Kakanuk 10 streak. This has been the problem for AGG, and he continues to zone them off here. Fire Spit available now.
Will it be fired though? 99%. Any sort of window for AGG will result in them capturing this, but big fire spit over the top of the barricade. He just got a perfect angle for this damage to come through. Or El Zulu goes down on the Torvald and coming away with it once again. Panda Global up 3-0.
Prince Danny TV and Rovnik combine to get a couple of kills now. Tooney goes down twice in that fight. Tiny Fetus, though, not able to fall as often. And despite losing his 14 streak, finds himself on a 6 streak again. And now Z1 Unknown, one of the players we know is most known for Androxus and his Eevee play lately, finds himself on Makoa and doing quite well. The Shell Shield here may not save him, but the pressure from Tiny Fetus is beautiful. Great communication by Panda Global here.
Barely able to get himself. Those are the kills you need to drive home, right? Now all the momentum is still on Panda Global side. Z1 Unknown with a very risky overextension there, but it does pay off as he gets out alive. Kakman takes down El Zulu before the Grumpy Bomb even goes off. This Poppy Bomb as well. Rovnik's going to have to walk himself back to safety.
And now Tooney taking a great flank. He just forces Prince Danny TV off the high ground. That's exactly what you want. They have a lot of ways to deal with the Shaolin when he gets close, but if he's able to stay at range, he's so effective. Right from the skies comes the chickens again. They want to get it. Great play by Tooney. Just realizes we got one kill. That's all we need. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to stay alive instead.
And that was an ultimate purely just to save Z1 Unknown's life, and they do come away with that kill as a bonus. Z1 Unknown's being so aggressive. Finally goes down in the backline. Rovnik looking for Tooney. Not going to find it. Barrett goes down as well. All the momentum is on Panda Global side. King Bomb just for desperation will stun out the Ruckus, but unable to confirm that kill. And Panda Global come away with the 4-0. Game number 1.
Well, it's been a consistent theme. We've seen 4-0s in the Master Qualifiers quite a lot this weekend, and no different here. Panda Global sweep aside Team AGG in the first game on Stone Keep. AGG now looking to respond. Taking a look at the scoreboard screen for that game, the stats do not lie. Everything really just went in favor of Panda Global that one.
I mean, you look at Smidgen on the healing doesn't hurt, but clearly that's not what is dictating the team's draft anymore here in North America. They are prioritizing their frontliners as well as their key damage dealers. So you look at the team comp here, you got the double support, double frontliner, as well as a Drogoz picking up that one important damage dealer you feel can just carry the team fight through. And, you know, you look at the damage numbers on Tiny Fetus, I mean, it's creeping up. Tooney actually surpassing the Drogoz as well. So they're finding creative ways to be able to drive this team fight home with these safe comps. Double frontliner, double support gives you so much margin for error. You saw how many times Z1 Unknown was able to escape just due to his HP pool, just due to the amount of healing he has to come back to in his team composition. He was getting away with stuff that he probably shouldn't have been able to get away with.
Let's take a look at the maps heading into game number 2. Stone Keep was a victory for Panda Global. Serpent Beach, will it be the same? AGG, hope not. They want to push this to a game 3. Moving into the champion draft, Nick, one of the things that I have noticed recently in this meta is that flankers have been undervalued, and maybe it's not undervalued, maybe they're just not as good right now, but at least in terms of the impressions, people don't find flankers are the answer there. One thing Prince Danny TV could have maybe brought out was the Androxus, which might have been a better way to deal with the Drogoz and apply a little bit more pressure, keep him on his toes who wasn't free firing.
It makes it tough, especially when they have double frontliner, double support. They're going for that early game win, and later in the game, later stages of the game, Androxus will come out on top of that when he has Cauterized 3, when a lot of that mitigation is just not going to make a difference. But that's just not the case right now. The meta is trying to find these wins quickly. As much momentum, as many 4-0s as we can get. Panda Global taking the Makoa and the Barrack this time around.
Prince Danny TV locks in the Shaolin yet again. So still no flankers coming out. Not sure if they're dead in this meta, but we'll see. It's going to be up to a team to really bring something out and make it seem that it's worthwhile. Mudastina did it yesterday and was excellent on that exact map. So it can happen, but just hasn't been happening as of late. Grok, Maldamba, the healers, the tanks getting the prioritization here. Panda Global very, very tanky on this lineup.
I think it's just the margin of error that this team composition gives you. They're so tanky. They're so, able to sustain. I mean, Maldamba, he's not a squishy guy. I think he's got 2350 base somewhere in that neighborhood. And Grok is up in the 2600 area, and they all have the ability to just heal themselves, self-sustain, and just box out. And early game, that's what everyone's looking to put the game away quickly, and when Cauterize just isn't that big of a factor, that's the team composition that's going to excel.
Yeah, and here it is, Androxus. Nick, as we mentioned this, we bring it up, AGG, bring out Androxus now. Victor gets taken as well, so still no flankers for the side of Panda Global. But AGG, when you have someone who's that notable of an Androxus player, like Prince Danny TV, I think it's a good time. And Z1 Unknown, who is one of the better Androxus players. I mean, he used to be synonymous with a good Androxus player. Still is. He's just one of those champions I think you got to bring out, much like I was discussing the Stolzy Barrack issue last game. And here it is. Prince Danny TV will find himself on the accursed man. Androxus still hasn't chosen his legendary aerial assault for Ruckus. Darkstalker, not a surprise for Netherstep, no longer set cooldown. They're linked charges now. Recurve for Shaolin, Field Study for Torvald, and Lifelike for Ying.
Smidgen has gone for the Spirit's Chosen Throughput legendary for the Maldamba Maelstrom for Tooney's Grok. Of course, Makoa taking the Pluck legendary, giving himself a little bit more bonus damage after landing his Dredge Anchor. 4-5 for Kakanuk's Barrack. Finally, rounding things out will be Iron Sight, Gunnery legendary for Tiny Fetus's Victor.
Heading into battle. Got a couple wreckers, couple cauterizes there, couple master ridings. Everybody looking pretty similar on both sides. Missed hook, missed opportunity. Barrack stays low and tries to get himself put, basically just shielded up and centered on this point fight. Gets those turrets up as soon as possible, which is so important for his DPS and his pressure as a frontliner. First blood already to Tiny Fetus here. Panda Global starting things off the way they want. Rovnik on the Ruckus, a bit of a tankier subject than the Bomb King before, and he stays alive a little bit longer, but will the end result be the same? Prince Danny TV slays Tiny Fetus now. He's on a 1 streak. He needs to find some more kills if AGG are gonna have a chance.
So AGG they get it done. Prince Danny gets the targets that he wants, but meanwhile this whole time, Kakanuk's Barrack is just sitting on the point. 84% already for Panda Global. AGG have to make a move and probably take an unfavorable fight.
No cooldowns except the protection for Torvald right now. El Zulus has to stand in the gourd as well because he needs to make sure that no one on the side of Panda Global gets in it. The silence, the Runic Blast will keep him alive for now. Headshots by Prince Danny. 3 streak for him, and this could be big. Takes another one down. Prince Danny finds 2, and this is the snowball Androxus needs. Oh, midair stunned by Tiny Fetus, it looks like. Oh, Smidgen, excuse me. Great plays by him, but he is still fresh meat for Prince Danny, who is now given AGG the control over this objective. Androxus comes in, shakes up the meta, shakes up the series, and puts AGG on the board for the first time.
I mean, whether you consider it in the meta or not, players are just different animals when they're on their comfort picks, and this is definitely Danny's home. The Androxus on a 4 streak right now. Found some beautiful angles into the back line of Panda Global, able to give them just enough pressure to come out on top. There's the early accursed arm. Will run into the barricade, but finds a nice angle over the top of that barricade to slay Kakanuk.
Just splitting hairs there. Finds the angle behind the shield. Gets pulled, Rovnik, but he goes into the offensive right after that. Z1 Unknown. He's trying to get his team into some rhythm here. Tiny Fetus in the back line trying to make sure that that rhythm is stopped. Because, of course, he has the grenades and he has the damage. Jake B falls to him as well, and Victor stays on the move. Prince Danny TV with a nice reversal. He's going to get healed up by Torvald, and you can't forget how valuable those protections are for Androxus to really be relevant in this damage category.
Danny needs to find an angle. There's a nice hyper beam out of El Zulu. Actually finds 2. Prince Danny finds Kakanuk yet again, and the angle, the window, looks like it's been creative here for AGG to find the conversion in the first round.
Not a highlight reel at the end for Prince Danny, but who cares? He and his team find themselves in the lead, in the driver's seat finally. And I think there's just so much that we haven't talked about here with these flankers, Nick. You know, going into the items, but again, going into just the breakdown. Prince Danny TV, with that extra damage boost of Field Study, with those protection bubbles, this is meant to make a flanker succeed.
Absolutely. It makes him terrifying, as if he wasn't enough so already. Sitting on 988 credits, has yet to go to his item selection, and that Torvald, I think the prioritization is not for, you know, what he does, but what he brings to the rest of the team composition. It gives the rest of the team, maybe those riskier picks, those Androxus, those squishier characters, it gives them that margin for error in the team fight.
Which is why I'm so surprised we're not seeing more and more of them, especially with players who excel at them without the protection, without the 2,000 extra shielding and the 40% damage here. Prince Danny TV in the back line, and this flanker just applying so much pressure to everyone on the side of Panda Global, and he's up in the skies. No one can touch him right here. It's only Makoa, but he's been pressured out. Z1 Unknown has no way to stay alive, and look at this. Tiny Fetus could fall. Prince Danny TV just creating so many angles for them to look at, but Ultimate's getting baited out, and still, the pressure has been for Panda on this objective. Grok goes down. That's huge. He needs to stay alive. He's got to win this fight versus Tiny Fetus. Two are over here now. They know Danny's the issue.
I mean, so much. He's commanding so much attention. Nice job rooting him in place there. Tiny Fetus will go down, and Danny finding the angles to get it done on this Androxus. Very difficult little Barrack nest to break, but Barrack just gives it up and tries to fight outside of the nest. Kakanuk, you were probably better off standing and fighting there, but Danny on this Androxus.
He's turning heads. They're just looking for him. Where is Androxus? Because if I take my eye off for a second, especially Tiny Fetus, he's gonna be in trouble. Smidgen doesn't know how to deal with them as well. 3-4 shots as well. 1100. Oh my God, Grok going down in an instant. Can't get in that fight, forces the totem, and now from behind the flaker comes in. Tiny Fetus goes down. Hyper beam from Torvald. The protection shield isn't on Danny yet, but it might as well be, because he is unstoppable here in the realm. One headshot will do it, but he gets taken down by Z1 Unknown, and Panda Global, out of all odds, take the point here.
They cut the head off the snake, the dredge anchor finally shutting it down, and that's the best counter that Panda Global have got to Prince Danny. They have to be able to land these anchors on him, pulling him out of position, going through that reversal and just shutting the Godside down. They have to find the burst, but that protection bubble is going to make it so difficult.
And it's so true. The protection, that's what needs to save Danny. The Runic Blast, the silence after Makoa hooks him for the follow-up for his teammates, but then the protection as well needs to be the thing that keeps Danny alive. Unfortunately, I mentioned in that fight too, protection wasn't there for Danny. He didn't have it, and El Zulu was forced to use it earlier on. A little bit of the misplay coming out from the first part of that point fight. I think if they want to make this snowball, Nick, and really make this work, Danny's got to get to work a little faster, because Panda Global, they really started retreating after having 80% on the point already.
Yeah, and part of that comes down to his team as well. He's finding picks, he's commanding attention. They have to be able to capitalize on the space that Danny's creating in these team fights. You can see him working his way around, trying to find the angle once again. Finds it onto the Victor, gets his accursed arm charge, but missing a lot of key shots. Pops the ultimate. Probably not how he wanted that to go. Does find a second one, looking for the third.
Looking for the third, looking for the fourth. Prince Danny, quadra kill. Takes down 4 members of Panda Global. Kakanuk, the stay-at-home dad, hiding. Almost wetting his pants there, trying to stay away from this man who is on a deadly streak. Gets shoved into the corner, bullied around by AGG. 57 seconds left. Panda Global looking scarred.
The latest pentakill ever. Unofficial, but a pentakill nonetheless. Prince Danny finding all 5 killing blows in that previous team at 21% back, ready to go on the accursed arm as well. So taking that one to the bank. 40 seconds remain here. Panda Global, undeterred, however, moving back in to give it another shot.
He's got another step available. 7 streak as well. Tiny Fetus has to keep looking behind him. They hear the dashes. They know he's coming for him. The man with the plan. Androxus headshot gets the kill. Tooney looking to fall down as well to the pressure from Rovanic. Danny's got to stay alive here, but the hook surely will end it. Reversal? Could he get out? No. Headshot. We'll make sure that he gets a little bit of damage off, but the push continues. 14 seconds left, though, and they've done a great job of stalling this. They could go up 3-1 here and be ready to close the game out next set.
Ooh, but the Hyper Beam is going to launch the bear just barely off the edge of the map. El Zulu finding yet another clutch Hyper Beam, giving his team the man advantage. Overtime will be started. El Zulu finds another kill. This Torvald is taking this team fight into his own hands.
And who can you deal with? You're going to look at Rovanic, who's just free-firing you with some of the highest DPS in Paladins and some of the tankiness in Paladins that he provides, or what are you gonna do? Look at Danny, who is on a massive streak here in this game. He is just out-fragging everyone that he steps up to. In fact, invest into the master riding, Nick. Very, very curious, but I think he just wants to get his positioning right.
Yeah, that off the bat, he's gonna have favorable positioning, as well as he is the one that is, their team fight is living and dying with him, so he needs to be aggressive. He needs to play his game. Master riding, it prevents the punishment, right? If he gets out of position, if he gets picked off once, it's not the end of the world. He's got the master riding 2 now, just went into that. He can get back so much quicker. It allows him to play more aggressive. And the adjustment I want to see from Panda Global Heal, where is the dredge anchors? You want to know, just save this cooldown. Prince Danny is winning these team fights.
Yeah.
He is carrying these team fights. Every time you take him down, AGG are almost forced to just back up outright.
Well, let's find Danny here as we ride along with Ruckus. Really, we know he's going to be the one kind of telling the story. Danny in the back line, but so is Rovenick. So they split things up here, Nick, and it's very, very important. A cursed arm from Danny, doesn't find one yet. Just shifting over, and C1 Unknown, as you mentioned, Nick, misses the hook, but was going for Danny there. Oh boy, Tooney falls, and this is looking loony right now. Danny going on 6 streak, 7. He's trying to make it 8, but he doesn't need to. Panda Global falling at their feet here. AGG in control, 45% and counting.
Wise strategy here for the victor, just to stay back. Tiny Fetus doesn't want to get too staggered from the rest of his team.
No
the
hook.
Clock is ticking. Needs to hit this shot. All these dismounts, maybe the space, the time created enough for AGG to drive this one home.
They've got to stay alive. Great protection by Torvald to make sure Shala doesn't take too much damage there. Shala cannot get killed. Protection bubble. Oh, that's huge. Jake B takes down Tiny Fetus. Makoa Ancient Rage, but Prince Danny should be back in the fight by now, thanks to his master riding too. Tooney is here, and so is Smidgen. But is it gonna work here for them? Hyper beam by El Zulu, and that's not gonna get any damage off. The Runic Blast is huge. Prince Danny TV gets one. He's trying to fight Tooney on the other side though. Will Prince Danny come out alive? 99% for AGG. They can win here.
93 finds Smidgen there. Jake B coming back in. He is healthy right now, but C1 Unknown is here. The tanks are so important to have in these overtime scenarios. There's a big repulsor field. It's gonna be so much damage mitigation. Cannot punch through. 500 health and falling. Around the corner goes C1 Unknown, but is it enough?
Hexifier just to finish off the Makoa. Rovenick with a smidgen of health takes down Smidgen's tank, and it looks like AGG here are on the offensive. They could win it all. They could take the game and tie things up against Panda Global. What a great team play, and what a great solo performance by none other than Prince Danny TV on the Androxus.
Rovenick there, that was a ballsy Hexifier. That is like,
it sure was, man.
This game is going one of two ways. Let's find out.
That's absolutely right, man. He just gave it to God right there. He's just like, you know what? Let
Jesus take the wheel.
Take the wheel right here.
And all 6 of these guns lighted.
What an incredible play. I mean, that game was so hyped from the start to the finish, and that's what's so exciting about these two teams who have everything to fight for. And this set means so much. These wins and losses mean so much to them. Being able to get into the second place or even the first place here, because NA is really up in the air, means LAN. And a lot of these players haven't even been to LAN, been trying to climb to LAN. I know Bubble Boy, Danny TV, Rovenick, El Zulu, Jake B, these guys are trying to get there, and this is their first step.
Beautiful, beautiful game there. 78,000 damage, 79,000 for Jake B. And finding a lot of flank kills, I guess. You know, those deep kills in the back line is where Prince Danny, that's where the credit bonus comes from for the flankers. That's how you find yourself on top of the net worth. 2,400 credits there. Beautiful stuff. 5 solo kills. Those are where the big money is at. That's going to be game number 2. We're all tied up 1-1 here. Head on over to the map screen to see where game number 3 will be played here. This series going the distance.
Comes down to Frozen Guard. So they will be taking their skills to Frozen Guard to find an answer to this set. And for me, AGG, you figured out your solution. You figured out your win condition. It's get Prince Danny TV playing at the high level of skill that he can be. You know, champions are meant to do different things. Flankers are intended to succeed in Paladins. You know, whatever the meta dictates is being dictated not only by the conditions of the scene, but the conditions of the players. And you can change that as much as you accept it. And Prince Danny comes in, says, we didn't have success going with this all tanky route. Couldn't do my thing. Now grabs the Androxus. I don't think Panda Global will go for it.
Yeah, in or out of the meta, it's just a comfort thing, right? Panda Global taking that away, they need to be just as, if not more comfortable on it to take it away, because if you're not going to do anything with it, it's not going to hurt AGG that bad. Prince Danny can play other things well.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of you got to get yourself where you're comfortable. Ying, Ruckus, the selection. Panda Global still electing to prioritize that Makoa. I would have liked to see the Drudgenko a little bit more pressure on Prince Danny.
Yeah, that's true. Panda Global now really, I think, with Z1 Unknown, have a tall task of execution. I think that they win that fight a lot of times if they're just able to consistently hook Danny, and they weren't. I mean, we saw it maybe once, twice in those clutch team fights.
In a lot of situations, the hook came through after the damage was already done.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just almost a day late and $1 short on to Prince Danny. We'll see if they go for the Androxus here. We've seen teams kind of grab the secondary tank or kind of that flex damage and then grab Maldamba or Ying, grab that healer, knowing that they're going to have to take one already. But instead, they decide they have a healer. They don't need to do that. We'll grab another tank and a damage champion. and we'll flex if we bring out a flanker or not.
Torvald going pretty late in the draft right now, and AGG, they've been making good use of it. Panda Global giving that one up. I was actually going to bring this up. I was like, I wonder if we're going to see Bubble Boy's Kinessa, if he's even going to be
I don't know if he'll be able to play it.
He is a good Kinessa.
Well,
I mean,
not his skill, but like in this squad, I don't.
Right.
You think they'll give it to him?
It's a matter of like if it's going to be a net loss when whoever they park on Maldamba, and there's a Maeve coming through as well.
Okay.
They need that. It's a good draft. So Maeve.
Okay.
This is the opposite of what we saw yesterday on Frozen Guard. We saw the Kinessa come out as part of the final picks. So.
Yeah.
When the enemy team was forced to pick up a healer, but now AGG leave them space in the draft for that last pick blanker. They have to shut down this Kinessa. We'll see who's going to be on. Then it will be Z1 Unknown running Eagle Eye for the time being. 50% headshot damage for the sniper. Gunnery Iron Sights for Tooney's Victor. Spirits chosen for Smidgen's Maldamba. Kakanuk on Architectonics for Kakanuk's Bear. Pluck for Tiny Fetus's Makoa.
And Prince Danny TV, he'll be running the Maeve there. Of course, you see he's running Rogue's Gambit, resets the cooldowns on Pounce when he gets an elimination. Combustible for Bubble Boy, who, yeah, he's not playing the Kinessa, but he's playing a damage champion right now. Rovnik taking the seat of healer, trying to drive things from the back end of the ship. Aerial assault with Ruckus on Jake B and field study for Torvald. This is dangerous. I don't know. Z1 Unknown is going to have a lot of natural predators in this game.
Triple cauterize, 1 wrecker, 1 master riding, 2 cauterize, 1 wrecker. For Panda Global. Keeping this Kinessa safe is going to be the key to a lot of their success. They do have the Victor, however, and right to the back. Finds the reset, finds the kills. He would have known. Shut down. 3 kills for nothing already for AGG.
I'm worried about this for Panda Global right now. You know, they lost this momentum that they had with the 4-0. AGG pummel and grab it back, getting Prince Danny feeling comfortable. Prince Danny, he said, I'm going to be the best player in Paladins you just watched. He came on streams almost a year ago, it feels like, and started boasting. And the guy's continued to put in work. He's continued to put in time. And now he's really trying to prove it. This is his moment. He's got to do it. He's going against Tooney's Victor. And yet again, Maeve comes out with Danny behind the wheel on the top end.
Tooney, you got to just stand there and fight that. You're not going to escape Maeve. Her mobility is just too much. Going for some long range and Pounce just to get in position. Pops the Prowl just to close the gap. But forcing Kinessa out of the fight is going to be enough. Find space to create. Takes down Smidgen as well. A flawless point capture for Team AGG, and they take the first payload of the game.
This is looking like a collapse, but AGG, they are looking stronger and stronger. And so it's not necessarily of a team falling apart. It's maybe the story of a team putting the pieces of the puzzle together. AGG finding strength in sometimes their diversity and their adversity and what they bring to the table that may be off meta with flankers, but may be just what they need to get by and surprise some teams here in these most important sets against somebody who could easily be taking third over them if they don't get this win.
And the Global popping their ultimates, popping a headhunter to try and find a couple of kills, and they do, stabilizing now. Moving forward back to where the payload point capture was, trying to take some defensive positions here. Get some dismounts for AGG. Don't want to let them back to this payload for free. Buying valuable time off the clock, but Prince Danny, he finds an overextended Kinessa, cleans her up.
You know, I did just say, you know, whether they place in third, but I do want to reiterate that North America's really up in the air. I mean, we see all these teams kind of taking losses from each other's now. Now that the rosters have really swapped and the main teams of Eager and Matchpoint have kind of broken apart, melded together, I mean, first is literally up for grabs for any of these teams. So this is so crucial for both of them. Kakanuk finds the kill onto Bubble Boy here, but Prince Danny TV, what do you expect? Just perfectly reads the transporter by Kinessa on a rampage. I'm surprised the spray didn't come out. Midnight coming through. Great hook. Oh my God, was that a blind hook by Z1 Unknown? Doesn't matter though. Prince Danny TV again has done the damage. It's a day late and $1 short, and they are still on the move.
Was able to escape with Tooney's lives. Zulu finds Kakanuk, and the trickle here needs to stop for Panda Global. They have to just give up a little bit of ground, give up as much as they can afford to. They need their respawns to come back. Prince Danny will go down. Z1 Unknown finds him. There's a nice Dragon Punch as well from Bubble Boy. Will find Tiny Fetus, but the round is already over there. Would have liked to see him actually just whiff that on purpose to retain 30% charge.
Yep, and you know what? Sometimes that's important, Nick, but sometimes he's looking at the credit. Sometimes he's also looking at the mentality. These teams, these players, they know that BM gets in their heads. They know that they're frustrated right now. They know they went 4-0, and now they're suddenly at the precipice of losing 4-0 and losing some crucial games. So maybe it's just, again, ahead. We're going to be that much better than you, and we're going to show it.
Prince Danny has his Cauterize 2 online, so No healing from Z1 Unknown. I don't even know if he's running Restore, but it won't save him for much longer with 60% healing reduction. Flat even 0 credits in pocket for Bubble Boy, so gets just enough credits there off the back of that Dragon Punch there, making me eat my words. Beautiful stuff.
You never know what the reason is, but I think it's important.
Need this Haven!
One more hour, but it looks like Jake B, he's got all the time in the world. Free firing as a Ruckus never felt so good. Hexafire available too. May not have to ask God for the success on this one. He may have his teammates just hooking him up here. And oh boy, Torvald getting melted. Great dome shield. It's just meaning Kakanuk is really the one free firing now, but they've used that crucial piece. Hexafire here, and oh, the shields will actually use a lot of the mitigation. Wow, Fire Spit saves the day as well, and Jake B's life.
The fact that they were able to still punch through that much damage off the back of Barricade through the Shell Shield as well is just immense. It just shows you how much damage Hexafire actually does. 68% for AGG on the point, looking to go up 3-0. They're putting themselves in a great spot to do it.
Dear God, Jake B, do not get healed. Of course, he was almost healed by Smidgen.
Wow,
but
Bubble Boy
unfortunately,
takes down 2 as he exits stage left there, gets taken down, but the Fire Spit from the grave was delicious.
Huge stuff there by Bubble Boy. We haven't seen him a lot on anybody but a healer, but he's proven that he's got a very excellent just adaptability, and you know, he knows the game. He plays a lot of these champions. He knows what he needs to do. He's focused down, you know, kind of taking a few breaks from some of his responsibilities and said, I want to really make sure that my name is known, that we step up, and you know, it's proven today, and it has shown successful here.
Protection bubble coming out. AGG do secure the payload, go up 3-0. Midnight ready to go. Dragon Punch as well. Illusory Rift, Hyper Beam nearly there. Hexafire is almost back up as well. So Jake B has been finding immense amount of damage. Here comes the Salvo. Fire Spit doesn't find anything through the cavern here. AGG round in the corner, priming ultimates.
J Bubble Boy wants to find it. Hey, he's gonna get one. Kakanuk goes down, hits the, doesn't hit the Fire Spit, looks for the rocket. Can't find that yet. Prince Danny TV in the backline though, so who do you look at? The dragon in the skies or the chick in the streets with the blades? That's gonna be one look that's your last, because if you take your eyes off of any of them, it's proven AGG will come back and finish you off. Ruckus again, they're in a serious position. The Dread Serpent's gotta handle him, but he's got Hexafire on the table.
Uh-oh, and he goes up off the top rope, up twice, doesn't find anything, able to take him down. Z1 Unknown's Headhunter is gonna be good, but Bubble Boy finds 2 kills. Another one for Z1 Unknown, and Tiny Fetus drive the team fight home. Rovnik, the sole survivor, he's just trying to hide in the corner, but the Dredge Anchor says get back here and gets staggered, but still 1 minute and 10 seconds remain on the clock for this final, what looks like 5 to 10% of the push for AGG. Put themselves in a beautiful spot to drive this one home.
You don't want Panda Global to start getting, you know, rhythm here, especially if you're AGG and you know that you're so close to winning. These 57 seconds mean a lot. I think they've got to find a hook. They've got to find an opportunity to poke somebody here, and maybe it's the Makoa. They're almost getting him down. In fact, they will. Tiny Fetus goes down, and that's exactly what they didn't need. Maybe just a little bit of an over, you know, aggressive push there, and finds himself now in a bit of trouble. Z1 Unknown going down as the Kinessa. So they just lost 2 huge components of their squad.
Such a difficult thing to deal with this Maid. This experience Maid in the backline, finding these elimination, these resets here, needs the Ancient Rage, but just doesn't have it. The emotes come through, and AGG take the set back from the cold dead hands. Panda Global.
They pried it open, Nick. They just
finger at a time.
Squeezed the win out of that. They squeezed the set back. And you know what? For me, I love it. I'm very, very impressed by AGG, not only for their play, but for their decision making. A lot of times we have seen in the past teams with their back against the wall do the same thing because they're afraid to innovate, because they're stubborn in many cases. They feel that this will work even though we've proven that it doesn't. And they decide, you know what, we will go the flank route. We know they're not picked up. We know we don't see Maeve. We know we don't see a lot of Androxus, but we will do that, and that will be the difference. Heck, they put Bubble Boy on Drogos.
Yeah, it bodes well. Their flexibility, their versatility has been shown today in the draft. We got Jake B flexing onto a tank, Rovnik flexing off damage onto healer, Bubble Boy flexing off supports onto damage. You know, they just have 100% coverage. Whatever they need to bring to the table, they've got someone to fill that role, as well as the rest of the team can fill in the gaps left behind.
Well, let's take a look at the standings now as they stand and see what this
see
win.
Where all these teams stand on the standings. Standing at the top, Astro Authority 2-0. They find the quick 2-0 in their series. AGG 2-1. Panda Global with the 1 win, the 2 losses after their series, and Eager yet to find a win after a dominant run in the open qualifiers.
If guns don't kill people and people kill people, then toasters don't toast.
That doesn't even apply here, and that's my thing.
Well, we're saying the standing thing. Nick told that to me the other day, and I just cracked up laughing there. We're moving on to the next game, actually, and Astral Authority versus AGG. So we're going to see Prince Danny TV, Bubble Boy, and all that squad versus Cuss Cutie and the likes, who just dominated in their original game. So both of these teams having success now, kind of see who's going to take the top here. This could be huge for AGG, who have not really found themselves in the 1-2 position before. And for Astral Authority, they've got to hold on tight.
This is going to determine a lot. Astral Authority was the #1 seed coming out of the open bracket qualifier, so they have a score to set, right? You know, we have to figure out where everyone's at. These teams weren't playing each other a ton in terms of mixing. You know, they were clashing the semifinals, and the finals, of course, were for the most part Eager and Astral Authority. These are kind of matchups that are determined more by the sides of the bracket. So a lot of scores yet to be set. A lot has yet to be seen in terms of how these guys, how is their series meta going to stack up? You know, who's going to be taking what away and what's going to work? Is Prince Danny going to be able to run Androxus to the same effect against Astral Authority, because Astral Authority have what it takes to run that character as well?
Well, you know, they've been I think Astral Authority, Cuss Cutie specifically, that kind of that core with him has been very open to changing things up and doing different things.
For sure.
He's one of the better flex players in the world. I mean, when we talked about the legendary thing, he was really one of the players that I looked at. He's like, he kind of needs every single one because he plays every single champion and legitimately could be on anyone. Whereas a lot of these guys play their 2, 3 to 5 to 7 champions that they really need to make sure they have locked down. AGG go with the Makoa first. Astral Authority take away the Torval, which was a huge part of those flankers working for AGG in the past.
So they do take the Ying here, maybe prioritizing that a little bit more, knowing that Bubble Boy is on AGG is a character that he's very comfortable with. But I mean, we're seeing him flex onto Drogos now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really pin the guy down anymore. He had a great performance on it as well. He did very well on that Drogos.
He's gonna start healing on Victor. I don't know what this guy can do. I mean, hot damn, you're gonna see Bubble Boy just really flex out here. Ruckus gets picked up for AGG, and they have one more. They can go for a tanking lineup, but it will be Maldamba early on. So now, you know, they really don't want to flex. We've seen this. They don't want to flex the healer. All the healers on the table. Really, it's the damage and the flank options here that are going to be most interesting for me.
So they want to save 2 of those. I think we should start taking the philosophy. If they take the Maldamba this early, it's just be like, we want 2 picks to counteract what they pick.
Exactly.
That's the kind of the thing I'm thinking they're thinking. But a toast or toast and a toast.
But Astral Authority, they have the very last pick. So this could be crucial because no flankers on the board right now. If they do pick the Kinessa or they do pick the Androxus, it does ward off a little bit of thoughts for grabbing a Kinessa maybe.
Maybe they wanted us to have the Kinessa.
But if
maybe
they
all
don't,
part of their plan.
Exactly, right? If they don't, then it gives Astral Authority kind of a wide window to know that maybe there are no natural predators, so something like a Kinessa could work. So they grab the Androxus, they grab the Bomb King, Rovenick, Danny, all on comfort picks. Bubble Boy could do well. Tiny Fetus on a good pick there. Astral Authority now with the Grover trying to lock down that flanker as well, which I think they consider as the answer to flankers, really deep roots Grover.
Yeah, and it brings more healing as well. So they're going for the 2 support, 2 front line, and then the 1 big heavy hitter Drogos to drive their team fights home. And it's going to be interesting. It's weird. We talked about Solzy on Barrack, and now Z1 Unknown just playing Makoa all the time. It's like these are really good players that are just on tanks. Not that tanks don't have an impact. I mean, clearly they're the prioritization right now. They're the staple of these team fights. Prince Danny going to be running Darkstalker on his Androxus. Bubble Boy running Spirits Chosen for the Maldamba. Accelerant Mobility, the name of the game for Rovenick's Bomb King. Jake B running Aerial Assault Mobility as well for him. And finally, Pluck for Zulu's Makoa.
Cuss Cutie running the Barrack. Fortify talent, giving him 4,000 extra shield. Evuli with Combustible. He's shown he could do well here. War Doom with Field Study, going to be aggressive with the Master Riding. Lifelike for Ying, pretty standard. Dosip's now flexing that, and eye drop bodies one of the better Androxus players as well, playing Grover. And Deep Roots wants to root his target with that crippling throw and really make an impact on this fight by shutting down I Drop Bodies. But over on the right-hand side, I saw it. I don't know if Body sees it, though. It is definitely, and Prince Danny TV coming around from the backside. Cusscutie gets a kill onto El Zulu, but all of a sudden, there is a very big pressure onto Evuli. They've got to make sure he stays alive. He's a huge part of their damage. Here's Rovanik pressuring Bodies here, and they still can't take Androxus down.
Being able to get one kill, though. There's a root onto the high ground. So tanky, though. Jake B is just going to be just fine. Cusscutie dropping the barricade as well. Big damage into El Zulu's head as he comes back. 84% for Astral Authority here. Falling very low is the Ruckus, but he's going to be healed up very quickly from Maldamba.
They've given up so much in this fight, 99%. You can almost say that it's a lost cause at this point, but you got to fight here. You got to see if you can get some picks. They haven't been able to do so. Rovanik goes down. Astral Authority in clear command of this game right now. Jake B just getting bounced around like, you know, just something. And basically just can't get anything except these headshots, finding himself the value of the Ruckus is that consistent fire rate, no matter whether he's getting knocked up left or right, is that he can keep being effective with his DPS. And man, Maldamba staying there, healing him up, Nick, they've got to turn this around.
But AGG find their way back in. Warden gets nothing off of his Hyper Beam as well. Evuli able to trade out positively with Prince Danny. The natural predator to the Dragon does fall. Now Rovanik's got a good angle on this backline, drops to the low ground, committing, trying to find this kill onto the Drogos. Poppy bombs himself way back from downtown. There's the dome shield, but the accursed arm is not here to save the day. The Dragon Punch finds two. Evuli is coming in big in these team fights, and Astral Authority find the window. Clean team fight out of them to finally drive this payload home. 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. That was a long, long team fight.
It really was. Sometimes we see those snowball like pushes, Nick, happen right around 2 minutes and 45 seconds. You see a 2-0, but that was not the case. Both these teams really battling back and forth. This could be a true test of 1 and 2 here in North America, but there's still a lot to be seen. Astral Authority still with the advantage. Prince Danny TV finds himself in a good spot, but Cusscutie on the barrack has just been commanding this fight. 8 streak for him. Even though he gets stunned, he's just stayed alive, stayed near that Ying. Haven't been able to take down Doseps as the healer, and the former members of Match Point just combining to be too tanky, too on point with each other to go down.
They're finding the angle into the backline here. Jake B able to take down Wardoom, but 2 for 1 is not the trade you want to see. Defense do have the respawn proximity advantage. Cusscutie finds another one. Bubble Boy body blocking the Makoa in, finally able to wiggle his way out. The defender respawns are much longer here, so just trying to buy team is this Makoa, but he will fall.
And this looks like it could easily be a 2-0 here. Cusscutie is the centerpiece of all this, and because of Healing Station with the turrets that are healing him up, because of the Ying, because of everything that's happening here, and the Grover as well, that extra healing before the cauterizes could come through, Astral Authority could not kill Barrack. That was simply put, they just could not kill him. They did not have an answer for him and Ying's healing, as well as I Drop Bodies.
They don't have a lot of cauterize. Prince Danny is the only one. El Zulu now picking it up. Bubble Boy actually going for the Wrecker, so just difficult to punch through all this healing. Grover and Ying providing an immense amount of mitigation that will start to fall off, but will that time come soon enough?
I'd like to have seen maybe Jake B start off. I see why the Wrecker was chosen, but at that point, when you look at that game, that push, you'd say maybe the Cauterize was a better selection there for you. Just being able to spam that and really make sure that your targets that you're DPSing aren't getting healed up by those 2 healers. Of course, you cannot sell your items in Paladins, which means once you commit, you've committed. You can't change your loadouts either. Those cards stay the same, and you can't change your legendaries after you reach yourself out of the first base. So immediately Jake B starts up again before moving there, but gets hit by a lot of damage from I Drop Bodies, and that Grover axe is almost competing with Ruckus's DPS here from such long range as it scales over distance.
Starting to come through. There's the Dome Shield to keep them saved. Astral Authority are taking a lot of poke. There's a Grumpy Bomb into the point. King Bomb is ready to go there. Very clumped up. Cusscutie stunned out, but there's a big whirlwind. They keep everybody topped off, and they're already sitting at 57 and climbing. A Dragon Punch comes through as if they didn't have enough momentum on their side.
Evuli takes down El Zulu. They definitely want to get action out of this King Bomb, but will they finish off Rovanik? They will. I Drop Bodies gets the kill. Oh boy, Combustible takes down with the help of Doseps. Bubble Boy here, and on the Maldamba, he has no safe respite. Neither does Prince Danny TV from the mad plays of Drogos and the fire spits mid-air and the wreckers that are there to just leave AGG.
How did he get up there? Real talk.
He's that good, man. That's how good he is.
How?
Nick, I'm
freaking out right now. I actually can't fathom how Wardoom got up there as Torvald.
He's that good, Nick. You have to understand, sometimes you just get the gift.
Wait, what?
And he's got it. There you go. Hyper Beam for Wardoom as well. He could use it to knock a few off the map. There's a lot of space for him.
He got Poppy Bombed up there.
But it looks like he will
Poppy
not
Bombed up there.
stay
Sorry,
alive.
I'm losing focus here.
Sleuth, dude. No, you were Sherlock Holmes in a past life. I get it. I understand. You want to find the answer. We all do. And unfortunately, they're blowing in the wind right now, so we cannot really continue going on that. It might be a mystery. Maybe it's left for Mythbusters to kind of break down, if it's possible.
Somebody will figure it out. There's a Hyper Beam from Wardoom. Doesn't get anyone, though. Ruckus is actually very good at dealing with Hyper Beam, especially when he has the 3 charges of the advance. El Zulu, though, does get taken down. Wardoom with 2 kills already in this fight. Grover, I Drop Bodies, picks up 1 as well. And somebody, somewhere, has got to find an answer for these momentous victories from Astro Authority. They're looking like, you know, old school burrito.
And they really are just pressing the issue. They're going heavy with this tank stuff. And despite AGG really prioritizing some of these flankers, they're not able to contend on the point, especially with the Vuli. Such a strong performance on Drogos is really, I think, a key of this tank lineup working. You need those damage dealers, the ones that you do have, to perform at such a high level to keep those tanks to where they're constantly at a 4v4 or 5v5 fight. Once those tanks are 3v5, that's a whole different story, but they just haven't found an answer for how successful Vuli has been. And you talk about Drop Bodies, you talk about players who have played Androxus. He's one of those with some of the best aim in this game, and he is consistently hitting these crippling roots. He misses the vine, though. And that will cost his life.
That would have been nice. If Vuli found 3 kills in that engagement, but it wasn't enough. Can AGG stabilize here? 17 seconds until a potential overtime look from Astro Authority. They are coming back 5 strong, haven't given up a pick, and that's going to be important here. Cuss Cutie posturing like he wants to get back in there.
This is big for them. If they get the Hyper Beam, though, it could be over. Right now, I see Wardoom making tough play here. If he can get one of the tanks off, that's huge. Ruckus stays alive thanks to the advance, and now Wardoom's out of tricks. He does have the silence, though, and the root onto Prince Danny. Enough CC to drive a man crazy, but here is El Zulu swinging that axe, but that anchor.
Wow. And they still had a Dragon Punch in the tank, as if it wasn't enough. I believe Wardoom did get Rovanek with the Hyper Beam there. I saw him get the kill.
Yeah, he got one.
He flew off, pushed Jake B off, so enough disruption and a kill just for the bonus there. With the Dragon Punch, as if it hadn't all been enough. Just plenty of gas in the tank for Astro Authority. Just momentum-based wins. I feel like, you know, whenever they don't get these momentum wins, then they kind of lose, but they're just unstoppable right now.
And that's the key, right? And to me, I go back to this as we take a look at the scoreboard stats.
How is Cuss Cutie top damage?
Because Cuss Cutie's
How did
Barrack
Wardoom get up on that ledge?
And Barrack
Questions. I have so many questions for you,
may
Astro
never
Authority.
have answers, Nick. And that's what being human is.
I guess he's just farming damage off the tanks, but damn. 2,900 credits, top objective time as well. That Barrack is rolling in the dough. Cream gravy left and right.
Cream gravy. It's time to head to the map screen to see for Game 2 where these boys will be playing. AGG have to put a stop, basically a lockdown on the wheels of the fast-moving machine that is Astro Authority, 4-0ing almost all of their opponents. Jaguar Falls will be the next map here. A bit of a different
map. It's a good map for them, though. This is like such a momentum-based map.
It is.
And this is a really... man, they're good at this map. AGG's going to have a really good draft here.
So they started off, I believe, grabbing the Makoa. And they really wanted to have that. El Zulu had an okay performance, but I don't know if the Makoa was the difference maker. In fact, they take the Ying, and I think that's a better approach right now. The frontline tanks, you know, Astro Authority, they're going to do what they want to do. Barrack, Torvald, it seems like Torvald's somebody going to be up there.
Torvald's high priority.
I could see Makoa actually making it out of this because they really need the Drogos for what Avuli's been doing lately.
Take the Torvald for sure. Wardoom's been killing it, and it's so weird to say that he's been killing it on that. They do take the Drogos as well, and just it was enough, right? Prince Danny got Androxus, who's the natural predator to Drogos, but the protection and the positioning from Avuli in combination was just enough to keep him safe.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's just the fact that Avuli's so good that he's not always going to lose every fight against Androxus. True. So, you know, there's going to be here and there, and if the rest of the team is even, you really need those flankers to give you that advantage. That's the role of the flanker. You get in, you kill that target. If you can't kill that target, you've basically lost a lot of your purpose for living, right? Yeah. Which is unfortunate there. But Ruckus gets taken up. You know, a lot of the champions we do see, Nick, going forward, for these short maps, Ruckus, they like to see. We've seen Mercy Kill Tyra come out a little bit here.
Yeah.
Victor's been a decent pick here.
Yeah, with no flank pressure, definitely could be a good look here. Astral Authority, they're trying to win this quick, man. Pip is a big part of their momentum wins, especially on Jaguar Falls. They have all kinds of disruption. I mean, the Hyper Beams and the Evil Mojos are two ultimates that can kind of come out of nowhere and just jumble the team fight all up. And there is a Tyra. Just trying to find some way to punish the clumping and the death balling from Astral Authority.
Which I think is a good pick. That Molotov will do a lot of damage. It's persistent health damage, right? So it's going to hurt no matter who you are.
You take a minimum of 15%, and you will take all 100 if you stand in the full duration of the Molotov.
Androx is selected as well, so they've got the flank pressure again, and Victor gets picked up as well. So kind of a lot of these picks that we know do well on Jaguar Falls actually get picked up on Jaguar Falls. And we've got a few more seconds before we head in the game. Nick, who are you liking here? Can AGG make a comeback?
I think on paper, I'm liking Astral Authority's draft. Just the wombo combos, the setups coming out here, and they've proven time and time again that they can execute on that, especially the Evil Mojo, which is the big what if. You know, the buff recently, not super recently, but the buff to Victor's Barrage doing 1,500 damage now, potentially one-shotting a lot of these chickens coming out from Dosups could just be so lethal. Well, we see the Darkstalker coming out, however, for Prince Danny's Androxus. Rovanic running the Mercy Kill Tyra, Bubble Boy running Life Like Ying. Jake B has got the Aerial Assault Ruckus, and Pluck for El Zulu's Makoa.
We're doing for Astral Authority running Field Study. Gus Cutie running the Fortify Legendary, giving him some extra healing, actually shielding. Catalyst for Dosups. Ivuli going with Combustible for the Fire Spit, the extra dot damage, and Gunnery for I Drop Bodies. Looking to drop some bodies on the Victor as of now. Molotov hasn't come out yet. Surprised there by the Tyra. Now she throws it. Going to do some serious damage and force him off the point. Can't just stand there. And first blood actually goes to Prince Danny TV. Dosups follows him behind, but that's a healer traded for a damage dealer, actually. It's a damage dealer for a damage dealer. The healer gets the better end of the trade, having not died at all and just picking up a kill. Rovanic now with the mark of Tyra, getting 15% extra damage onto his target and also revealing them two enemies. It is super crucial here on this small map where some flanks could be a little bit surprising, especially if you go around the right side. Prince Danny TV, they know he's an issue. They got to get him out, but he stays alive. But a bully comes in and wins that duel we were talking about.
93% as well, so all looking good here for Astral Authority. The Fire Spit come out onto the point here just to keep this going. The overtime is started from Jake B, but it's just not enough Dosups. And Ivuli, it's so much, easy confirmable damage onto Androxus when he's forced into these tiny rooms. The Explosive Blast with the follow-up left click from Pip, as well as the Fire Spit, the Combustible doing so much damage.
And I do want to point out, Bubble Boy there was actually under so much pressure from all 5 members of them on the side of Astral Authority, and they still could not kill him. He dimensional linked so well that they just lost track of him and decided not to fight. And honestly, that is the power of Ying. I mentioned so much. He's just 5 members. They won a team fight. It's just him, and they just can't find him to kill him, let alone kill him fast enough before his teammates respawn. And Bubble Boy now making his way back over to his squad here on the on the right-hand side. Going for a Dragon Punch. Ivuli gets a kill on the Rovanic, just securing it, and there she turns into an illusion. Can't find her. Trying to look where she is, but again, Bubble Boy just hiding out in the corner over there, and he decides that he'll come back to the fight when he's ready.
Nice preemptive illusion. He has to have dropped those to be able to dimensional link away to them. Now he's kind of in a rough spot. It's going to be awkward for him to try and get back into this fight without popping Illusory Rift and dimensional linking back in. There's the Evil Mojo here, just trying to keep himself alive. He's under a lot of pressure. He's buying a lot of time, but his team is falling apart underneath him. Prince Danny answers back onto 2, but Cuss Cutie finding God knows how many kills in that engagement.
2-0 again. Cuss Cutie going for the Chronos 2 now with the huge credit advantage that he's got. Well, at least 300 for every member of the team. They're all starting to work on their level 2, their tier 2s, and AGG barely enough for some of those right now. Prince Danny seems to be the only one who has the ability to get a cauterized 2. Everyone else still working with tier 1s.
It's just so strong, this composition and the execution from Astral Authority. They always just feel like they have an ultimate left in the tank here. Doesn't have anything available just now, but hopefully they'll still be able to get it done. Almost ready to go on the Dome Shield. Prince Danny's struggling to get anything done right now because he's just getting punished. Dosups is putting, close to 1,000 damage with the Pip combo, and then 1300s coming through off the back of the Fire Spit combo. That's basically all of Prince Danny's health he's taking in a very easy to confirm AoE.
Oh, he's trying to get a bully right there. Catches a Fire Spit. This is huge. Crossfire from Tyra, looking to find the damage. Is the Mercy kill there? Oh, it is. Good damage off of the Mercy kill grenade, giving her that extra potential 200% damage on it. And El Zulu, AGG come roaring back here in this fight and capture 58% of the objective and start zoning.
They did pop a lot of ultimates for it. Astral Authority still have the chance at a take back, but they're going to have to do it soon. 85% and climbing now north of 90.
Wow.
It looks like Barrett, Cuscutie, or maybe Doseps was able to get back there, but the kills are just flowing
This is
for
huge.
AGG. And they're looking like they're going to be able to take this one back.
Nick, I mean, this means so much. El Zulu's
is
still
all
on the
alone.
zone. He's well. They know he's going to die. They don't care. They're worried about this zone right here. And this is so important, Nick, that they made this statement, that they came back and they won this next fight, that it was not, again, a 4-0. AGG want to prove that they believe they are the top dogs and that everyone else should believe it too. It is a new scene. It is a fresh scene. The Tyra coming in on a 6 streak, making a huge difference. If they can't shut her down, I can see this going AGG's way this point for a full push.
And this is huge. This is awesome for AGG to be able to take this one back. They need to push this game later. They need to get the higher level records, the higher level cauterizes online to try and shut down ball composition. There's a big grenade launcher, but punished almost immediately. Astral Authority come roaring back, taking a 5-for-1 team fight. But like I was saying, AGG, it's good for them, right? They have a minute and 40 seconds just to get as much credits as they can. I don't know if they'll be able to convert here, but we'll have to see. They need to get these late game items online to start shutting down Wardoom and Cuscutie a little bit quicker. Breaking that front line is going to be faster and faster the later this game goes.
Nice little unicorn spray as well there by Abuli, trying to find Prince Danny TV, who's pretty committed to taking down the dragon, but actually catches the damage from the Fire Spit. Oh, and slays Avuli. Rovenick kills Cuscutie. That was not what they expected. Avuli walking out there like the natural predator and actually becomes the prey. Oh, get back here, says Mako. El Zulu helps Prince Danny kill eyedrop bodies without a prayer, and now the hook is ready already onto the Drogos. The damage is real, and Doseps falls. AGG looking to push this through with some momentum. 3 ults actually about to be on the table for them with the Hexafire 3% away.
Ooh, drops that hook. El Zulu does go down. It's a big part of their frontline composition, but this payload is nearing completion. Of a nice hyper beam. Gets Rovenick off the map. Wardoom needs to be able to find the stabilization. The sole frontliner for his team trying to hang on. Good positioning here for an Accursed Arms. Gonna find one. Good damage on the Wardoom as well. Puts him very low. One more shot's gonna do it, but the recharge is there. Not enough style points for that Defiance.
Gets the extra confirmed damage. Prince Danny TV one more time. Hits the shot, a headshot in fact, and keeps his team in it. He's gonna heal up with Ying, and now he's gonna focus on the Cuscutie. Cuscutie doesn't know he's coming from behind him though. Can't spot him. Tries to find the turret, finds him, and now he's stuck between a rock and Androxus. And Androxus gets the better end of the trade. Eyedrop bodies in the back line. Oh my god, Mercy killed Tyra with the grenade. So much damage, they take their face off the payload. And the pace of AGG slows because El Zulu got down earlier on in that fight. And man, despite an incredible performance by AGG there, not able to push it through, and now Astral Authority go up 3-1 off of that defense point.
Cuscutie bought a lot of time bouncing back and forth in his barricade, buying the time for his respawns for his team to come through, and then Wardoom immediately giving him protection, buying even more time on top of that, and then Abuli able to come back in style, finding a lot of kills, and because they were able to find that 2-0 conversion, they did benefit from the defense point. So now 3-1 up in a good position to take this set home. Astral Authority with 4 ultimates on the line, look to drive it home. All that AGG have gotten response is going to be a Crossfire and an Illusory Rift. Not super, team fight swinging ultimates there. Rovenick has got to go absolutely massive with this Crossfire.
Oh, look at this. They just pull him in. They want to get the Mercy kill. They throw the Molotov on. Actually, Doseps hunts down Rovenick, but loses track of him. This is huge. Crossfire could come out, and now Doseps is in trouble. There's the Mercy kill. Rovenick v Doseps. Doseps gets the kill. Wardoom stay alive. So is eyedrop bodies. That's as good as gone for AGG, though Bubble Boy will be alive here. It is not going to matter. All of them need to spawn back and stop this zone from happening. Otherwise, Astral Authority will win the game right now.
Dismounting everyone. No one has a horse coming back from AGG, so it's going to be very slow rolling. It's going to force AGG into an awkward spot. They're going to have to take team fights, probably with some unfavorable positioning here. 81% for Astral Authority, and still so many members still zoned out.
Oh, Zulu gets taken down by Avuli, and that's the benefit of winning the first point fight. You put him under pressure, but Danny TV does a big thing here, and he now has to step onto the point because Barracks there by himself. Oh, bodies drops, and now they've got to take and some healing. Bubble Boy staying alive in that fight was huge. Jake B gets 2. Team AGG come back into it, and it's their turn to zone. I don't know if they know on the right-hand side, though, that there's someone sneaking in the back. Bubble Boy takes down Dosips, though, and they've got no Pip, no Evil Mojo to fight.
They've got no ultimates. They used a lot more than I thought they would have in that first fight. They used the Dome Shield. AGG find the miracle Hail Mary play to come back into this one. Prince Danny giving them the overtime. And it looks like Bubble Boy and I think Jake B must have won that fight against Wardim and Dosips in the backline because they came back. And now 4 for nothing in this team fight, 5 for nothing. AGG come back.
This could easily be a Jaguar Falls Mercy Kill Tyra meta with the Makoa, because when that hook to the damage, the burst damage from Makoa and the burst damage from Tyra, it's enough to kill anyone that's almost getting pushed. It's just, you're dead. Unless you have these incredible shields, and Torvald may be one of the most least vulnerable champions in that scenario, they are going to just absolutely wreck. But because of the way Cuss Cutie is in these fights, the time he's buying, the shield Torvald is putting on him specifically to keep their sustain up, it is forcing AGG back, and they've got to just let this one go. They've got to regroup. This has not worked out for them, and they got to try again.
Is just rolling here. Again, you're right. They need to find the stabilization. They need to just sit back. They've got plenty of time here to regroup. Every second that they give to Astral Authority is going to be a second lost towards that overtime. Payload still has a decent amount to go, probably 25 to 30% of its distance. Has yet to break the base officially. A nice firebomb from Rovanix. Tyra will force back some of the tanks, but already a pickup for Avuli.
They need Rovanix Tyra to throw that Molotov, and then they need to stay keeper protected. What a fire spin, and he gets caught again. Prince Danny TV doing what he needs to do, but Avuli follows back. He says, you got me last time, buddy, but not this time. Bubble Boy goes down as well. Jake B just needs to relax here. Cuss Cutie gonna try and put some hurt on him because he's on a 6 streak, and if they know Jake B goes down, that's another 15 seconds they gotta wait, it seems like, while he respawns and then rides all the way back to them. 40 seconds still left. They're gonna have one more shot at it before overtime, and that could be enough. But again, do they start using ultimates here, Nick, or do they save it for next round?
They'll probably look to save as much as they can, but there are a lot of heavy-hitting ultimates online for AGG. Ancient Rage and Illusory Rift are pretty far off the mark. So I don't know what the call is going to be from AGG. Maybe they just try to play this one economically. They've won they've won more payload fights than Astral Authority have at this point in the game. So hopefully they have confidence in that and try and save as many ultimates as they can.
Prince Danny TV's been a monster with these reversals, and he's actually just turned fights around as a result of that. But you know, they've got their eyes on him. I drop bodies as well. Prince Danny TV goes down, and wow, Zulu and Bubble Boy go down. That's essentially the end of this push here with no sustain, and without their front line they've been counting on. The spray comes out. Paladins best game, and the defense is successful. 3-2. AGG now have a chance again to keep this thing and the momentum rolling, tie it up, and maybe even win if they pick this up.
So I think Astral Authority are going to learn from their, I don't want to say mistakes, but they used a lot more than I thought they were going to in that one team fight. We saw the Dome Shield, Evo Mojo, and Barrage all come out in the exact same team fight, kind of almost at the same time. Whereas a lot of times, Astral Authority in particular do very well at getting a lot of mileage out of every single ultimate. You know, they won't use a wombo combo. They'll just use the Evo Mojo and follow it up vanilla. And same thing with the Barrages. They'll just look for kills off the back of those Barrages, whether it be from the slow from Pip or maybe a silence from Torvald. They'll make every little inch count with these ultimates. I don't expect them to come out swinging quite as hard as they did. They need to go the distance here, as AGG has shown some serious staying power.
Dosev's on the right side trying to flake bodies. Already picks up El Zulu, and that is not good. Prince Danny TV looks to find a kill, and he will take bodies, and Avuli actually starts to hide here. So Avuli cannot take down the flanker, and he's got to look to the left, to the right. He needs eyes in front and behind him. Astral Authority, though, clean up the first part of this fight, which we've seen be consistent. But Prince Danny TV in the back line still keeping things interesting, shall we say, for AGG.
Still have the Hyper Beam and the Barrage and the Dragon Punch left in the tank, whereas all AGG's got is that Hexify. They got to find a big one there. There's the Dragon Punch being primed up, and it will find the perfect split. Both tanks go down again for AGG. There's a Hyper Beam. Doesn't get anyone. Yes, Rovenick takes off the map, and 87 and 90%. This is looking grim for AGG.
That should be GG for AGG and Astral Authority. Astral Authority will clean this one up, and a very good job by them in this set to go ahead and take it over AGG, who, you know, have been admittedly doing a great job of bouncing back against their other counterparts here, and even bounce back against Astral Authority. Put up a bigger fight than we've seen before here in this weekend.
So they do go down. Not as much. They put up a better fight, right? They slowed the momentum down from Astral Authority. They made them go play the game for more than 10 minutes, which is a lot more than a lot of these other teams have been able to say thus far. Bodies, though, 105,000 damage on the Victor. Avuli 90k on the Drogos. I mean, there's just so much damage. From a death ball comp as well, there's still just so much damage coming out of Astral Authority, who get it done with just the Pip solo heal. I mean, turn up.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing for me, too, is that the death ball comp really doesn't work unless, you know, they get that 100k, that 90k out of Avuli and I drop bodies. And they're able to do so. They're able to do so pretty consistently. And that is the power of Astral Authority, able to run it. That's why you see some of the better teams able to lean on one or two great damage dealers to be able to have these tankier lineups who really couldn't contend, you know, without that.
So Astral Authority continuing their dominance here in North America. 4 wins, 0 losses out of their 2 matches. So the perfect 2-0 here. AGG, they go down 2-3 now, as they did lose 1 game to Panda Global. Panda Global's only win there found against AGG. Eager have yet to play them for the day. They are sitting at 0-2. So Eager looking for their first win of the day. Panda Global looking to keep themselves out of the bottom of the leaderboard.
Eager looking to keep themselves out of the bottom as well. I mean, they played Astral Authority. Unfortunately, they got 0-2'd. And now Panda Global, who...
AGG put up a better fight than Eager did.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, right now, I would be really interested to see the AGG-Eager matchup. But right now, we're going to see Eager try to get themselves back in contention for the number 2, number 3 spot, which is important for them. And I think it's good they're not playing AGG, who seem to have some cylinders firing, some pistons roaring, and they maybe need to get their rhythm back here.
So the Ying first pick here for Panda Global, immediately into the Torvald for Eager. Starting to see the light there, finding the value in the Makoa as well. So Barrick's still on the board. Notable pick that has come roaring back into the meta with the rise kind of the more death ball. But I like that we're seeing that Ying is less important. Ying hasn't even seen her nerfs yet.
Yeah.
And she's already fallen out of first pick favor for a lot of these North American teams.
And I honestly think that Torvald for the death ball comp right now, at least the way that Eager and Matchpoint are running it, is more important to them because of the protection and because of the extra damage that you're able to get off of it. It makes your tanks damage dealers, really. I mean, when you talk about Barrick hitting you for 600 at base, and then you talk about 40% more damage on top of that, I mean, that's just a lot to contend with, and it's hard to bring them down. So I like that they take the Barrick and the Ruckus away. I think this helps Eager say, we're not going to go full tank here. That might be a little odd. What we will try to do is maybe go for our healer next and flex pick on the damage dealer just to make sure you can't pick up like a Kinessa or something.
Drogos is the selection, and good on them for finally kind of seeing the light on this pickup. But Stolzy probably going to be taking that one. Not traditionally known for playing Drogos, but definitely a character he's going to have to get very, very familiar and comfortable with, especially the way the meta is looking like it's heading. Well,
you know, Stolzy, actually, I saw, you mentioned these comments on stream. Stolzy, Eager, they don't really have a good Drogos player. I saw Stolzy the next day on his own personal stream playing Drogos. He seems like he was practicing him. It might have just been the game I caught him, but I feel like there's some coincidence there, knowing that you've got to have a Drogos in the pocket. Buck here, Shady Shades, he's been one of the better Bucks that we've seen, and with a Torvald boosting him, might be all Eager need to take a win over Panda Global here.
And the only real lockdown coming off the back of the Impaler arrow from Shaolin outside of an ultimate, Evil Mojo coming from Pip. But so as long as Shady Shades, who I'm assuming is going to be playing this, can stay away from walls, he could have a real tear on this, similar to what we saw Perdo do with the character yesterday. So Lifelike will be the selection for Smidgen King's. Desert Shadow will be what Shaolin is taking today. Catalyst for Tooney's Pip, Fortify for Kakanuk's Barrack, and finally Aerial Assault is the legendary selection for Tiny Fetus's Ruckus.
I like the Desert Shadow pickup. Shout out Z1 Unknown. Combustible. There's going to be going for Stolzy. He's got to show his Drogo's arms right now. Pluck for Wi-Fi. Get the extra bonus damage off of the hook. Spirits Chosen. Bending Spirits for Maldamba. Field Study. That crucial talent. Legendary, for Bitey on Torvald. And Bounce House Buck for Shady Shades. Picking up the Cauterize as well. Mostly all red items. Just a yellow there for a Rye. Chronos, cooldown reduction. Those abilities so important for him and his team. And Stolzy starts off with a salvo. Can't find much off of it. Doesn't find a fire spit either, but just firing into the shields. He's doing damage for his team. That's part of his role. First blood now for C1 Unknown, though. And Stolzy kind of instinctively pushes back just a little bit. All of Eager does, knowing that they just got their huge flanker that they were counting on here down and out for this fight.
Not a lot of fire spits connecting right now. Not a lot of salvos. Damage coming through. Bitey goes down as well. Panda Global in control of this fight. They stayed clumped up. They didn't give Buck an angle. They took him out, and then they immediately bully their way onto the point. First pickup going the way of Eager finally as Kakanuk falls.
Very, very important, too, to realize, Nick. Panda Global, although, not in a great spot, AGG, with how well they've been playing and taking games off of Astral Authority, Panda Global took a game off of AGG, and we're actually in the lead of that set, making us think that they were just going to clean sweep them before the flank switch happened. So Panda Global really feeling rhythm here. They're in the lead 66% now on the objective. Wi-Fi feeling the pressure, needs to find a hook and doesn't. 63% though for Eager as he jumps onto the point. Tries to fight.
Couple of percentage so close here, 69 to 72%. Dragon Punch is primed and ready to go, but Stolzy is very low and gets taken out before he can land. Eager struggling to get the Strogos pick off the ground.
Barrack just doing so much damage, decides to turn and fight rather than run. An objective captured. 1-0 for Panda Global. Eager yet to find their rhythm here, even in their second set. And Tooney, Tiny Fetus, both on streaks yet again. The brothers in arms, 5 and 7 respectively for the Pip and the Ruckus, which we've seen them pick up earlier. So seeming like a favorite kind of lineup for them over these last couple sets, Nick.
Cheeky pickup, long range shot from Z1 Unknown as well. Pops the heat haze, wants to go ahead and get in there, finds a couple of shots here. Increasing his draw speed, but he's met with a shell shield, actually silenced by the Torvald as well as he finds his way back to his team. There's a Hexafire off the top row, finding a lot of damage into the backline, finds a long-range pickup with the help of Tooney.
Oh, great stuff there. Tiny Fetus keeps the streak alive. 9 streak for him, and a 6 streak now for Barrack, who is just doing the deed. Smidgen on the payload cart, pushing this forward, playing against his former teammate Stolzy, and him and his squad right now are giving it to them. Stolzy on a 2 streak though. This could be huge. 3 streak for him. Fire Spit available. Is he going to use it? Doesn't need to. Great hook there by Wi-Fi. Lands that one. Fire Spit now for Stolzy, and Buck, Shady Shades is just perfect in position to finish things off. Going to hit recovery though and heal up here because the damage was real for a second.
Good job getting out there. Oh, Dimensional Link's back into trouble. Smidgen puts himself in a position to be taken down, and Eager happily take that pick up there. And now Kakanuk in a rough spot onto this Barrack. Gonna have to dance between his barricade, but unable to get it done. Shady Shades takes him down.
This guy's absolutely a monster here on this Buck. We saw Perdo just, poetry in motion, right? Great theater. Shady Shades just a monster. 2 different types of adjectives to describe the same exact experience of a deadly Buck that you want to finish off early. Can they do it though? That's the question. Stolzy still free firing in the back line. Finally found a little bit of a streak here, and he's been practicing this new champion that's not usually seen as a part of his marquee staple picks, but has to be as a result of this meta. The Dread Serpent is so perfectly timed here, but look at this chicken coming out. Tooney picks up a Rye after the Dread Serpent, which is huge, but Wi-Fi able to take the kill and actually fall as a result of what Tooney was able to do before Shady Shades took him down.
Great counter aggression coming out from Stolzy. He's zoned out from the payload. He's going to eat that big arrow from Z1. He's going to capitalize on the kill, and Panda Global don't wouldn't call it a backdoor, but able to sneak that one in under Stolze. There was nothing really for Stolze to do in that situation. He was just zoned out in between a Rock and a Shaolin, who was sitting on a 5 streak.
And before we talk about the items, and it's an interesting point. On the stream, I saw this exact same moment happening. He was getting in the back line. He was zoned out. We're used to Stolze creating the frontward pressure with his Androxus, with his hot plays. Hold W, and that's like a pseudo frontliner, which Shady Shades is filling this role now. But it hasn't been working so far in this game.
Yep, just I feel uncomfortable with the character we saw, especially in that first point fight. The first salvo found nothing. Fire spits were going into shields, not finding a lot of value, and that's just not what you need out of your Drogos player. You need him to go big. You need him to be, and you expect him to be top damage in almost every single game in a meta like this, where there is so many valuable targets, high HP things to hit on the point.
And giving Z1 Unknown credit as well. I mean, for me, I've always had a lot of success, and I think players have seen success with Shaolin against Drogos when Shaolin is firing. And it seems like Stolze here just has to retreat to the gourd, and protection does save his life because Shaolin is deadly in the air, and Z1 Unknown is deadly and feeling it right now. Wants to get a win after losing to AGG, and Eager stands in their way, but for how long will they put up a contest? From the back line, he's still getting 1,000 damage each shot. Misses that one. Shady Shades here, Buck getting taken down by the planet, but actually having to force himself back is Z1 Unknown with a withdraw. Desert Shadow though, look at the stealth duration. Buck just completely lost him.
78% for Team Eager on the point. Looking to get themselves on the board here. One member coming from the back. It's Kakanuk on the Barrack, who gets on the point, starts the contest, and gets this team the overtime that they need.
Oh, that's huge. Planet coming through. They get Shady Shades. Oh, long range shot. Oh, can't get him. But they will actually find it. Eager instead pick up the kill because the long range damage means they can't get to the point. And Eager now turn things around. So whatever adjustments Stolze, Bitey, Shady Shades, and the rest of the squad had to make, they've made it.
Tiny Fetus didn't get a lot of value for his Hexafire, whereas we saw Shady Shades was able to find picks in the backline with his Buck Wild, and I feel that's kind of where the team fight really started to go in favor of Eager. That just found value for their ultimates, and Panda Globa couldn't find it there. 2 picks for Team Eager as they get this payload push off the ground. Nice planted in the wall, but won't retain the angle as Drogos falls to the floor. He falls behind cover.
Yeah, impaling can work in the sky. As long as you hit one of those tops of the buildings. Ancient Rage pop by Makoa. Wants to find something, but he's going to get met with an illusion. The push is continuing, though. For Eager, great hook by Wi-Fi. The emitter will take away a bit of that damage. He's going to retreat to safety. He's got his healer coming back out in just a moment. But they will contentedly stay there and start the defense. They've made a decent amount of progress, about 65%, 70% of the way now, with a minute and 17 seconds still on the clock, and Buck alive and healthy.
That's Buck Wild as well. Big polymorph hits all 5 members, but unable to get a kill off the back of that Panda Global. You have got to follow up on those dream ultimates like that.
Man, I don't get it.
That's a free team fight.
I don't get why you do that if you know you can't follow up, or what the miscommunication is. I didn't even see Pip follow up there. Unfortunately, it just wasn't firing. Stolze gets a great kill on Natuni, who just jumped into the Dragon's Fury. And Ying clones being destroyed left and right. Great air shots by Stolze. And you never know, despite whether he's playing projectile or not, when Stolze's aim is going to come back to bite you. One of the best in the game. And he's landing his shots now. It's a scary proposition for Panda Global, because look at that salvo. Look at the damage from Gord. It is just nuts right now. Stolze doing really well in the back line and free firing like he likes to be. No pressure whatsoever. Going to try and force out Z1 Unknown. He'll pop him shot right in the head and hit a double tap onto Kakanuk, and Barrack will go down. Oh boy, this is Stolze's time. This is Shady Shade's time. Eager looking to tie this up 2-0 without much of a contest.
There goes Smidgen as well. The Hyper Beam, just for good measure, retains the Dragon Punch to boot. So Eager still with an ultimate in the tank here. Panda Global, all they have is the Illusory Rift online. Tuni pretty much off the mark there at 69%. Kakanuk's almost got his Dome Shield, but that's going to be canceled out very heavily by the Dragon Punch. As soon as the Dome Shield comes through, Stolze's probably going to prime the Dragon Punch, taking Barrack and that Dome Shield with him. Bitey and Shady Shades and Wi-Fi have all gone into Resilience. After they escaped the Devil's Due with that Penta chicken there, and they don't want it to happen again. So the Resilience will get them to the mark, that 2-second minimum. So Resilience 2 is 60% crowd control reduction, and that's the maximum that Pip's Evil Mojo can be reduced.
And this is why we're so impressed with what Simsilo does, right? It's not that he hits those chickens, but he and his team somehow always follow up on it in such an exciting and effective way that it shows. That's why you prioritize a Pip in your lineup, when you can do that. When you see these just missed ultimates where 5 people turn into chickens, it's just, it's painful to my heart. The opportunity that just goes wasted, unfortunately, by Panda Global, who are now 24% on the point and trying to zone out Eager, taking the upper left edge, but have Stolzy in behind with some fire spits on the Kakanut. Will get blocked by a great fortify, great barricade coming through, keeping him alive, and he's going to retreat, though. Despite that, the pressure is really strong with Eager here.
A lot of low HP targets for Shady Shades to clean up, and a big fire spit as well. Planet comes out onto Shady, forcing him back, but Tiny Fetus is in a bad spot. He's going to get pincered and go down. 45% for Panda Global, but the zone here is going to be very strong.
Did you see that?
Coming out. No, what?
Z1 Unknown used Desert Shadow, and then Shady Shades just could not find him. He was standing in a corner by himself, and Z1 Unknown just using that legendary, which we don't see a lot. So highlighting it is kind of cool because he really is looking to avoid the buck there.
Oh,
but there's too many problems going on for his team, and Eager have just dominated this performance right now.
Starting to find his rhythm on the Drogos, and really coming in clutch for his team as well. 16 streak for Stolzy's Drogos, 12 streak for Wi-Fi's Makoa. Misses a hook there and just likes to back it on up with Torvald there.
Stolzy is one of the better players in North America, one of the bigger names in the Paladin scene. And he took it as a challenge to see if he could play Drogos well, to see if the rumors were true that Eager didn't have a Drogos player, or if that was what really hurt them in their last week, not being able to claim first.
Whoa.
But right now, his combustibles are saying something different entirely, saying that we had the true Drogos all along, Paladins fans. I'm on an 18 streak. I just wanted to wait before I reach my final form. There's the Dread Serpent coming out from Arai. Another combustible might just knock him off the map. In fact, Z1 Unknown goes deep sea fishing. Stolzy in the air, finding one more. Smidgen, see you later. Turn around, no look. Dragon Punch to seal the deal. There's the Hyper Beam. Kakanuk takes the deep sleep. And oh boy, Eager get the victory.
They punch it home. They find the rhythm on the clutch character. They've been needing this Drogos performance. They need to lean on. This character is so strong right now in the meta against these clumped up teammates. You saw him hitting those quad fire spits, dumping, 2,600 damage before the fights even starts, and then the Dragon Punch is always there. When you're able to put out that much pressure, the ultimate gets charged up incredibly quickly. Take a look at the scoreboard here. You can see just that story has been told. Stolzy 129,000 damage, 35 and 3.
Every now and then a player really hooks me up with some great moments, and I'm glad that Stolzy heard me slowly winding up and building his name up and being all this stuff, and then started to go on this great top play. Because I just feel like, those casting moments don't often come as perfectly as that was, but it just felt like the crescendo happened at the perfect moment with Stolzy really just, I think, all culminating in a great showcase of the fact that he is an incredible Drogos player. And not just a Drogos player, a Paladins player. Put him on any champion, he will hold W and make hot plays. And he did.
That's the name of the game. Top credits score as well. Beautiful job from Eager to be able to bring that one back. Good Hyper Beams, good Dread Serpents, all of them really hitting the mark. Shady Shades being there when Stolzy wasn't finding his momentum. Sure. Shady Shades has kind of been a rock. I highlighted him in the first week's player spotlight. But game number 2, there's still a fight left in Panda Global here. They still have a chance to come back. And Stone Keep was a strong map for them. I believe that's where they were able to find one of their wins today.
By the way, you guys liking these no breaks? You feeling it?
We're rolling here.
We're rolling here. That's for you. Hope you enjoy it, man. Panda Global take Makoa front line. And he is going to go first. Eager now the opportunity to answer with how well Drogos performed, I could see them going into it. But I could also see them trying to pick up the Barrack here. And they instead go at the Ying, which they felt was a little too strong for Panda Global when they had.
The Torvald seems to be the key here for a lot of these teams. It's just so much anti-burst, which is kind of the name of the game with Makoa. It's a great pickup against that character. Drogos can't really save anyone from a Dragon Punch.
Yeah.
But something to keep in mind. That's a lot of pressure. Team Eager now needs something else, whether it be a Shaolin, whether it be a Victor. They need another character to lean on. Those are typically what they go to drive their team fights home.
Team Eager, grab Victor. Could be something wild here where you see either another flank come out or just, again, the standard tank. They're going to basically stay safe and look to counter pick for the last opportunity. Panda Global have to put their cards on the table here. They have to say, this is what we want to go for. Stone Keep means they can't really go against anything risky because Eager could just counter pick onto it. I don't know.
Shaolin Maldamba puts Eager in the spot. The Androxus can work on this map, and Stolzy can work with Androxus. But it's just a matter of who's going to play Victor at that point. Bitey is going to do that, but he's also one of their bigger Torvald players. It will be the Grok. We've just seen a distinct lack of Grok today, whereas this is a very high priority pick over in Europe, especially. I'm surprised to see it not picked up here for Eager, because Bitey loves this character.
Well, here's what they go for. I mean, they have the long-range pressure from Victor, which is just going to be nuts on the point. And then they've got this flanker Buck, who's going to be really hard to track down, especially on Stone Keep. I mean, Grok landing those shock pulses on Jaguar Falls is one thing, because they're all there. But like Stone Keep, Buck could be just a mile away doing his own thing. It's going to be hard to have hit him and then affect anybody else. Who's going to chase him down?
I think I'm liking the Grok pickup. I think this is the first time we've seen it today. I think it's the first time we've seen it today, and that's been a big part of Europe's team fight here. And I think, you know, whatever team, you know, whether it be a European, whether it be a North American, the first one to kind of come together and take the best parts from both metas is going to be the one to come out on top at the Masters land. Maelstrom, obviously the selection here for Tooney's Grok. No other way to go. Pluck for Z1 Unknown's Makoa. Combustible, the Fire Spit Path for Kakanuk's Drogos. Aerial Assault for Tiny Fetus's Ruckus.
Stolzy going to pick Gunnery for Victor. Fortify for Barricade here. Field Study for Torvald. Lifelike for Ying, as expected. And Bounce House Buck, as we've seen previously on Shady Shades. They're going to head to the left-hand side here. Let's take away the scoreboard and see how the action starts. Shady Shades already gets the party rolling with a great play there. Kakanuk on the Drogos getting pressured out. Gets the salvo damage off. It's not the worst thing that could have happened, especially considering he had to trade his life. So might as well try to take a few down with him.
Good God, has already picked up 3 or 4 kills in this engagement, just on an absolute tear with this Torvald Field Study Protection Bubble, giving him 40% additional damage. Whenever he leaps in, whenever he's looking to stir up trouble, 78% already for Team Eager, but the respawns have come through for Panda Global, and they're not out of this fight yet.
Not yet. Bitey on the point with a great runic blast. The silence is there, and it's enough to make sure Tiny Fetus can't burst anyone down before going down himself. Recharge. Give me that shield, boy. But Makoa says, come back here. I want to talk to you about it. Shady Shades pops over and says, what's up? As Orion and him pick up the kills. And objective captured for Eager. Panda Global in a bit of an issue here, having a very big turnaround from what we saw in earlier games today.
Already on a 7 streak as well. Shady Shades Buck has participated in all but 3 kills in across both of these team fights. Already ready to go in the barrage as well. Stolzy somehow beats him to the punch, gets his ultimate charge up first. You can just see it there. So much damage being pumped into these tanks. This Victor pick is so dangerous. So much damage to be punched through.
Yeah, he's not going to get anything off on this, but he's going to retain 60% of the ultimate charge. Victor can kind of cancel out of that and be able to retain some of it. Just uses it there. He's still going to have it back very quickly considering how much damage he's doing in this fight. In fact, he's at 75 right now, and another grenade. Look at that, 85, 89, 91. Victor, very, very close to having that barrage ready to go one more time, and I don't know if they'll be expecting to hear that noise yet again. They've got to be aware of this, and he may not even need it. That's the grenade just to zone out. My God, they've beaten the payload space. They are just ready to get this set over with quickly.
And that's the scary part. They might not even need it here. This team fight is going their way so handily already. This shield's not going to last long, and this Makoa may not be long for this world, as he does not have his ultimate just yet. Only the supports have their ultimates for Panda Global. The Dragon Punch is there, but it's not enough. Eager able to take that capture and conversion with plenty of ultimates left in the tank.
And Eager, no, they have to make this happen. They cannot fall to Panda Global. They cannot let their status of being 2 go away. In fact, they joined this team together, maybe for synergy, maybe for being best friends. You know, Stolzy and Bitey really wanted to play with each other, but they want to be number
We
one
expected
finally.
this to be number one, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, match point fell apart, and we were like, oh, God, you know, that's done and dusted here. Eager, they were in the number 2 spot, and they get, you know, one of match point stars. You look at that roster, and you say, all right, well, they're only going to get better with that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it hasn't been the case for them, but maybe that's been the fortunate part. Maybe those learning experiences, that growth opportunity has made them stronger here. It definitely gets Panda Global. It shows they've got a lot of resilience, no pun intended, to really go against some adversity and come out even stronger and make a difference here. Mid-air barrage is not going to go for it. Instead, wants to find Z1 Unknown on the Makoa, grabs the grenade, and actually drops it as his last act of defiance. And he will help his team to clean up a few kills, but Stolze will fall. And Tooney will stay alive with this Maelstrom Grok. Again, I'm having a hard time seeing his effectiveness as much as he wants to have it on this map, Stonekeep here.
There comes the Buck Wild. He knows Grok is vulnerable during his ultimate. Hooked off the high ground and punished. Gets nothing for his ultimate, nothing for his trouble. There's the dome shield from Barrick. Try and keep this team fight alive for Eager, who have now retaken control of the zone. And they move north of 70%, but a big Hexafire. Can they get out of the way in time?
Stolze gets the kill on a Kaganuk. Hexafire gets the shields down, but nobody else. But that means defensive measures are gone, and that will mean that so are the tanks. Wi-Fi takes the spill. Trying to come back into the fight is Arai. He's going to dimensional link and buy some time. And look at that, 3 seconds that Ruckus was not firing onto any other tank, trying to chase down Yang, and Arai ends up with full health yet again. The power of Yang, the power of dimensional link. But because the momentum was just so heavily in the favor of Panda Global, they keep this rolling 97% for almost both teams.
Yeah, here's Stolze with the barrage, though. Doesn't get a lot off of it. There comes another Tempest to heal up all of the
Best
members
Maelstrom
of Panda
ever.
Global. There it is, the Dream, and leaping in just to try and keep that overtime alive, but he leaps into the Dread Serpent. Eager, forced to give this one up, and Panda Global not out of it yet.
Maelstrom, I mean, that was the best Maelstrom ever. We usually don't see Maelstroms used kind of like that and get so much value, get a couple of kills, keep all teammates alive and healthy. A lot of times it's on the push, but the point fight is just so vulnerable. He has to go into Ghost Walk as a result of it. And, you know, he can't Ghost Walk, he can't damage anybody, he can't get those shot pulses off. Sometimes it's just better to pop out of it early and just stay alive, but that one gets full value.
Grok has one of the weaker ultimates in the game because of how vulnerable he is during it. It's most often used now just to pocket heal certain teammates, and it's kind of a weird use for an ultimate, but that's where Grok stands. He's all about the shot. Wow,
nice.
Look at
Astral
that Ghost
Traveler.
Walk speed.
Astral Traveler, a card in Grok's loadout is going to help him to move faster in Ghost Walk. And what that means, and why I like that, Nick, is because Grok, he's got to heal right where he is, which means that if you're not near your target that you got to heal, or if you're in a bad spot and you need to get around the corner, you need to get there quickly before the healing is irrelevant and they're dead. Astral Traveler gives him that movement speed to get to where he needs to go quickly.
Uh-oh, Bitey caught out here. Probably going to have no choice but to eat that Dragon Punch. Goes to the jump off the top rope there, but will not stay alive. Fire spin cooldown going to be reset. Cacti moving up onto the high ground here. Is going to be met with a Buck who just leaps away from him.
Oh, this is big. Can they keep Tiny Fetus alive? I think that's the difference in this push, succeeding or not. They might. Oh, Gord comes out, but they can't do it. Stolze picks up 2 now, and I think that was the question, and Eager answered it right there. They took down the Ruckus. They got rid of this momentum. So sometimes it's so hard, and you saw Panda Global. They couldn't do that against Eager.
That was their chance there. I feel they had the Dragon Punch taking out Bitey super early in that fight. Eager are still sitting on 4 ultimates, and Stolze at almost halfway on his barrage. He's gotten pressured out of like almost every single barrage, I think, this game. So if he actually manages to get one off, it's going to be devastating. 30 seconds remain for Panda Global. All the respawns are here, but they're having trouble breaking this zone and finding their way in just to try and get some pressure.
That pressure is important. That's what Maelstrom Grok is here for with this legendary Ghost Walk. Will it keep anyone alive? Oh, it will. And another great Ghost Walk from, Tempest from Grok here on Tooney. And I really think this Astral Traveler getting him to a good spot is a great pickup for him. Wants to get to Tiny Fetus, cannot do it yet. His brother in arm will fall, and you know what? That means he's probably going to fall as well. And that means the entire team of Panda Global will take a spill. So Eager, with that defense, go up 3-1. That's the power of 2-0ing in your first push.
They're not really spending a whole lot to get this defense held strong. Shady Shade's going into the Resilience. 4 members of Eager now picking up the Resilience. a lot of things they want to try and avoid. Frankly, you know, they've just got the knockback from Drogos' Fire Spit. They've got the Dread Serpent from Maldamba, and that's the big one that they're trying to avoid with this Resilience 2, giving them 60% reduced duration of that crowd control, that fear. That is a huge ultimate that Panda Global are leaning on to swing their team fights in their favor. Ancient Rage notably still on the board. Kakanuk's almost got his Dragon Punch ready to go. Eager, however, have the Barrage. They've got the Hyper Beam and Buck Wild.
Buck Wild wants to get Buck Wild. We saw him have Shady Shade specifically have success early on in these fights, grabbing a couple of kills very, very quickly. Shady Shades, however, is not the issue. Surprise, Stolzy. Does he want to know with a great flank? I love it. Mixes things up, and then Ancient Rage baits him. Oh, God, this is a great play from Z1unknown. Gets the hook, gets the pull and the hook. Bitey goes down with a great shot. Z1unknown takes control of that fight and changes the whole dynamic. He might have just kept Panda Global in this.
89 HP does go down. Shady Shades comes back in with a heroic leap and escapes with his life. That was an incredibly high value play until that moment. Here comes.
Oh, he got oh my God!
The shutdown. The Barrage collides with Drogos midair, shutting down the Dragon Punch, and Eager are able to take this one back off the back of that huge whipped ultimate. Didn't go off all the way, however, still took the charge. Just narrowly looks like it went off. In fact, that Dragon Punch entirely wasted.
And that Dragon Punch would have changed everything. Bitey tries to get a Hyper Beam, and in fact, that may come back to haunt him here because that was the clutch thing he could do to just make sure the overtime went his team's way. But now that that's used, they're going to have to rely on brute strength, brute damage. Stolzy with a trip quadra kill for Stolzy. And oh boy, Arai picks up the last one. Would have been a pentakill, but that's the victory for Team Eager. Stolzy with huge plays to come back in that. And again, the interaction between Barrage and Dragon Punch, if you're kind of curious as to what happened, Barrage can actually hit mid-air targets. So if Drogos is just flying in the air, he can get hit, even though it looks like, well, where does it land, right? In that circle.
It comes from the sky. It collides with airborne targets. The shell will hit the airborne, guys. You can take Droxus out of the sky with the Accursed Arm. You can take Drogos out of the air. You can take Ruckus out of the air if he's coming out with an aerial advance, you know. Dream big, kids.
And
Dream big.
It ended up being a incredibly valuable, you know, every little moment mattered to make sure that could happen, because if he gets that Dragon Punch off, I think Kakanuk and them take that point. It's 3-2. I'm almost 100% sure that takes place. Stolzy just comes in at the perfect moment, has his ult ready, 34-5, 98,000 damage, and helps his team to finish things off with great performances by everyone on Eager.
Shady and Stolzy have been having a really, really good day on their characters. Bitey as well. It's the unsung jobs of Eager, the Barracks, the Yings, the Torvalds. You got to shout them out. You know, it takes a village here to win a game of Paladins.
That's right. And standings are ready here for the end of the day. North America gone through in a blaze. Man, where did the time fly? Team Eager find themselves with one less loss than Team AGG, and so they'll move into the second spot for now. 2 matches played, both have 2 wins though, and Panda Global, even with a win by themselves, means that, you know, there's still contention here. This is a lot different than when we first did this, Nick. You and I were in a closet, and we were doing the camera and the production, and we saw the Master Circuit, which we called it back then. Champion Circuit. And there was just like stomps. It was just the 2 top teams and the 2 bottom teams, and that was it. And now, North America, we're seeing teams take games off of each other. It's refreshing. It's exciting.
It's awesome.
And we're really excited to bring this to you as well. They've also got some first wins of the day. They can get some take some advantage of, Nick.
We haven't given you guys a chance because we haven't taken any breaks, but now the broadcast is coming to an end. Get out there for the final day this week and get your first wins of the day, as there are Radiant chests on the line. You can get 3 of them.
Cream gravy.
Per day. Also, once you're done getting your first wins of the day, PTS is still up, I believe.
Yeah.
Forums. So go out, play some Inara.
Paladins.com will give you the directions to download that, play some Inara. I may play that on my off time. I mean, I don't know. We have so much time because we did this so quickly. We didn't take any breaks. And now we got to go pee, first of all. But after that, I will probably enjoy myself here. Watch some anime. Do some. What are you going to do tonight, man?
Not watch anime.
Jeez, what a loser.
I think I'm going to go get steak. I'm starving right
actually,
now.
That sounds pretty good. Whether you like anime or not, steak sounds pretty dang good to me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you being here and joining us on this lovely Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your evening with your families and your friends on the line, online or at home. And as always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and we'll see you all in the realm.